Hey, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. It's good to see you all as usual. Tuesday night, and Hitchhiker Chat it's time for Hitchhiker Chat to just spend a little time, talk about Disney. And tonight we're gonna really dive a lot deeper into their plans for 2026. As most of you are aware, Disney has a lot going on right now. They have a lot of construction. They have refurbishments. They're building entire new lands. So much going on. So we thought we would kind of talk about all that. We've talked about it kind of in pieces on a lot of the on several of our shows. So obviously, we've been talking about that for a while. Women, I thought it might be nice to pull all that together into a timeline and kind of go over it and just talk about all of it together so that we know what's coming up. So let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Hey, Tina, welcome in. Welcome in. Mandy. Oh, Mandy. A night at the Grand Floridian would be so great. It sure would. Hey, Keith, BDF 777. Good to see you, Keith and Keith. We love your countdowns. It is always so great. Tina has always said the best cure for the Disney blues is to book another trip, so that you have a brand new countdown. 384 days until your Florida trip. And Keith, you'll have to tell us what you have planned for that. If you're gonna do Universal or where you're staying. I don't know if you've gotten that far ahead, but I'm sure you've thought about what you want to do. So you'll have to let us know. Oh wow, Josh and Jenna, they've made it to Amazon Alexa's database. Wow, that is, well, I'm not surprised because Josh and Jenna, Resort TV One, some of our very sweet friends. Y'all hear us mention Josh and Jenna a lot of Resort TV One. They have a lot of subs. I'm not even sure. They're over 200,000, I think, which is really really cool. They do such a good job on that. Let's see. Okay. Alexa, she does a good job. Well, I don't, Keith, I guess I'm old school. We don't have an Alexa. We don't have an Alexa. So, because she listens. Not that they're not listening on your phone all the time anyway. But oh, thank you, Tina. By all means, guys, Tina has liked the video and shared it out. Thanks so much, Tina. We appreciate it. And subbed and rang her notification bell. She's ticked off all the things, guys. Like, share us out, sub if you haven't done so already, and be sure and set that notification bell to all so that you know when we go live. Cousin lives 40 minutes from Orlando. Wouldn't that be fantastic, Keith, to live 40 minutes from Orlando? Wow. Goodness gracious. Tina saying hello to my Aunt Joy and my Aunt Susan. Oh, sorry, Keith. That tends to happen. That does tend to happen. That happens. So, and here we go. Hey, William, can you hear me okay?
Hey, everybody. Yep, I can hear you fine.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I was just saying hello to everybody in chat, and I just woke up Keith's Alexa because I mentioned it.
Yeah.
So she argues with her. She admits when she.
Funny.
Well, that I need to get an Alexa just to argue with her because Jeff will when he's wrong. So. Oh, wow. I hope I didn't wake her up again there for you, Keith. It's good to see you, hon. As I said, just kind of, going over what we're going to be talking about tonight. And Last week, guys, I did want to mention. Last week we had Chuck and Tina McNeil. You know how fond we are of all
yeah.
of our ghosts, but Tina and her husband Chuck, who is very elusive. He stays on the other side of the camera, y'all, all the time. We love Chuck. He did make one other cameo in a live stream that we did when I went with them to SeaWorld. And so he's on the channel, but he's very elusive. He agreed
Yeah.
last week, y'all. It was fantastic. He agreed to come on last week, and Tina and Chuck gave us their reviews of 4 different steakhouses that are on Disney property. After their beloved Shula's closed, they had to come up with another place to go when they go to Orlando, another steakhouse. So they did that. They gave us, their impressions of each one. And then towards the end, they told us which one that is succeeding Shula's as their favorite steakhouse. So we loved having you guys on. And if you didn't see that, by all means, go back. If you want to see Chuck, go back and Tina, you too, Tina. Go back to next week's live or last week's live stream and take a look, because we really enjoy it. Chuck's talking about doing it again. Listen, Tina,
Nice.
you tell Chuck that as far as we're concerned, he can produce. He is our new producer. We're always open to ideas. If he wants to, if
Steak
y'all want to
expert.
figure out
Resident steak expert.
which set you important. We're talking, major stuff here. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much, Keith. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. And let us know what your plans are, by the way, too. Keith has a countdown, which is
Very nice.
Always always great. Tina, we love you too, but I just keeping it real. I've said before, if you and Chuck ever get a divorce, we're keeping Chuck. I'm trying to just let you. Oh, we love you too, Tina. We do. But we appreciate you guys really for coming on.
Yeah.
Last week, and it was fun. Had a good conversation there, William, after you came in, and just kind of shooting the breeze and talking about this, that, and the other. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So y'all check out last week's show, because it was really neat. So let me know, Tina, what producer Chuck has in mind there for us. We seriously would love it if y'all came on again. Again, good night, Keith. Have a good night. William, how's your week going so far? I realized that on Tuesday we're not very far into the week. So how was last week and the first part of this week?
Yeah, it's good. Very busy. Watched a decent amount of football also, which was glad to do. You kind of got stuff done, and watch the game, and so it was good. But yeah, outside of that, just busy. School board meeting yesterday, and then the training last week, the meeting yesterday, and so hey, welcome
Jeff,
in.
welcome in.
Yeah, glad to have you, Jeff. Thanks for being here.
Yes, absolutely glad to have you. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
welcome,
busy.
Foolish mortal.
busy. I got my regular job, got my other job. I'm in week 2 of my MBA class, and so it's 8 weeks long. So it's busy.
Yeah, you've got that one. You've got you don't have to reinvent the wheel anymore as a professor. You've kind of, but it's still very time consuming as far as
I have 27 people in class this time, which is among the higher
right. That's
higher end. So
Wow, that's a lot, William.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you need help with the kids, let us know.
Yeah, we'll do.
But welcome, absolutely welcome in Jeff
Yeah.
Nash,
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
691. First time to be here. We're glad you found our channel. It's good to see you. If you're a fellow Haunted Mansion fan, you're even more welcome. So, I did do it's a big class. It really is. It's a lot of grading, a lot of reading, a lot of grading. So,
Yep.
the other thing, William, that we need to do, and it involves our celebratory Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway train whistle. Our dear friend, Dane the Turkey Legster, hit 1,000
Yeah.
subs.
Yeah.
And we are so excited. He probably will be in a little bit later, maybe pop in.
Yeah.
But I unfortunately I was not in I was really hated it that I was not in that live stream when he did it, because we were working towards it, and I had shared it out in in a lot of my moderator chats and what have you. And so I was hoping that he would hit it during the live stream, and I think he did. But he was at Magic Kingdom and today, and to celebrate. And so we're just so excited for Dean. He has really been hitting that hard, hitting YouTube, and he did a countdown to Christmas, live streams to the parks, live streams from home. And Dean, we love you. We're so fond of Dean. He's such a good guy, y'all. Dean the Turkey Legster. Check out his channel if you haven't already. And we're going to give a blast on this is our celebratory Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway train whistle, which we use to mark auspicious occasions such as this. And so if you're wearing earbuds, loud noise warning. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Dane. Well deserved.
Great job, Dean.
Bravo. Sir Turkey Legster, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate your friendship, and wish you, all the success in the future with your channel. That 1,000 is tough to get to.
It is. It is. It's a grind.
The first 100. It seems that the first 100 YouTube subscribers is tough, and then the next crawl is to that 1,000. So, but Dean has really worked hard on his channel, improving his tech and all that. So we're excited for you, Dean.
Yeah.
We do you want to do this day in Disney history? Or you want me to?
I can run through it. So this day in Disney history, 1930, happy 96th birthday to Buzz Aldrin, the second human to ever step foot on the moon. He was born in Montclair, New Jersey. Over the years, the veteran astronaut has attended special space-related events at Disney theme parks, including the launch of Epcot's Mission Space in 2003. In 1999, he voiced himself in the Recess TV episode Space Cadet. But Aldrin is the inspiration for the Pixar character Buzz Lightyear, the lunar module pilot on Apollo 11, the first manned lunar landing in history. Aldrin was also a mechanical engineer and an U.S. Air Force pilot. Let's see. This
pretty amazing. Yeah. Pretty amazing. Amazing career.
This day in Disney history, 1936, 19-year-old Adriana Caselotti records her first tracks as the voice of Snow White. The recording process will take 48 days. Her father, Guido Caselotti, a vocal coach, has been hired by Walt Disney to help cast parts in the studio's first animated feature, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I'd seen something like, if you adjust for inflation, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is technically the biggest box office of all time if you were to adjust for inflation. Yeah. I just saw that a couple days ago. I
Really?
don't know how accurate it was, or how people got to that number,
Uh-huh.
but they said technically, if you're to
Really?
take what they made, it would technically be the biggest box office. But again, I don't know
That
how
is
credible that
that's
claim is, but that's what they said.
wow.
This
That's
this day in
neat.
Disney history, 1950, Disney's Donald Duck short "Lying Around," featuring the voice of Clarence Nash, is released. Donald's nephews will use a mountain lion costume to scare Donald away so they can grab a pie off the windowsill. Their trick is exposed, but a short while later, a real mountain lion, the first appearance of a character named Louie, comes along. So, this day in Disney history, 1950, Donald Duck lying around.
Not related. Yeah, that I thought I'd seen on Facebook, of course, all day long. I follow NASA and a lot of SpaceX and a lot of the our independent space companies, and I had seen Buzz's 96th birthday today. That's the second human ever to set foot on the moon. His footprints are still there. And we have, guys, Artemis 2 is going up. What date is it? I posted on Facebook and I can't remember. Going up
Not sure off
February
the top
the
of my head.
3rd.
Yeah.
We're going back. They're going to slingshot around it. There's no landing plan, but it's in preparation for, another land. Sure. And, I've always wondered why it's been so long since we went back to the moon. Uh, there's so much technology and so much to be learned from doing that. I'm a huge fan of our space program. Followed our shuttle program very closely. And when I was at work, I generally and we during the shuttle missions, if there was a mission, I generally had one of our server room computers, tuned to that. That NASA always did a live stream of the mission, start to finish. You could even download a schedule and what they were going to be doing each day. It was really cool. A lot of my teachers kind of picked it up and talked about it some in their classrooms. But I always had those missions running. I just loved it. I'm fascinated by it ever since I was a child. But we're going back, so that's exciting, and it's a
That is
NASA
exciting.
mission. It's not Blue Origin
Yeah.
or SpaceX. It's a NASA mission. We have 3 Americans and a Canadian going up. So we may talk a little bit about that in the next few weeks, a little bit. But yeah, really cool. So happy birthday to Buzz Aldrin, of course. We wish him all the best, and it's amazing, when you can make it into your 90s. That's pretty incredible. So happy birthday to him. We're going to talk a little bit tonight about Disney has so many plans. There's so much going on. If you follow the parks at all, you know that they have refurbishments, major and minor, going on. There are walls everywhere in Animal Kingdom. We've gone to um, from Walcott to Waldom. Somebody said
Mhm.
Waldom in Animal Kingdom in one of our streams. And so, yeah, especially with all he's done, exactly, Tina, especially with all he's done along the way. But so many plans. They're planning new lands, ride refurbs, tons of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into that and talk about it. You know, this is something, William, that we could probably spend a lot of time because there's so much here. There's so much material.
Yeah.
We'll try to go through this so we don't keep you guys up for 4 hours. But
Hmm.
we're really excited about it. Their plans, of course, include major updates: the Muppets taking over Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios, new Mandalorian missions on the Millennium Falcon. Wow. Bluey and Bingo meet and greets at Animal Kingdom, which is totally new. Refresh for Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin and a major tech update for that ride.
Mm-hmm.
Big Thunder Mountain will be opening, and the patriotic soaring across America for our nation's 250th anniversary. 250th anniversary will be at Epcot, so that'll be good to see that again. Disneyland is going to expand its Galaxy's Edge timelines, and and we've Animal Kingdom has got a new Zootopia show, and even Cinderella Castle is going to get a repaint. So I mean, it's everything from repainting to building a new land. So let's get into that and talk a little bit about this. As we go now this one is one. Some of these things, y'all, I'm really excited about, and I know, William, you are too. And some of them I'm a bit trepidatious about. So hey, Nicole, welcome in, and Robert, welcome in. Now this picture is kind of dark, but it's concept art for the refurb to Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. And Wade, you and I were there for closing night, or for closing day of the current iteration.
Yeah.
That's been there. We were there, and we're probably a couple of the last 1,000 to ride it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, literally, it was cast members went and were riding it. They closed it to regular folks, and cast members were riding it. Getting off their shift and going and riding it.
Yeah. So it was really neat. You got a ride through, right, William?
I did. It wasn't very good, unfortunately. But yeah, and that's the thing, is what I should have done, because there was no line. Of course there was a line. It was after fireworks when we went out there to go do it. And I should have circled back around, because there was a line when we got in line, but by the time we got off, there was no line. So I should have just gone back around and filmed it again.
Right. Well, so it's not publishable.
I mean, I can double check it for quality, but I know that there's a decent amount of waiting in line, and it's
well,
not.
We can cut a lot of that out.
Yeah, anyway. Well, I'll see if it's how much of it's usable.
Yeah, check on that again, or just revisit that, and if you feel like it's good enough to post, we'll definitely get a video up on it. But they're updating the tech, guys. Remember how all of the targets, or all of the laser lots that came from your firing mechanism they're red, and so you never knew which one was yours. So it's kind of hard to know if you were actually hitting the target, or if it was somebody next to you, or even in the next car that was hitting the target. So those will be changed to different colors, along with other. I think they're updating the lasers, aren't they, William? Too.
Yeah. Well, the blaster, I think, will come off of the console now, whereas it was locked into the console. It'll you'll be able to move around, and then also there's an animatronic, and it's named Buddy, and she's a girl, but she's
Buddy's a girl.
Yeah, she will help you practice before you get out there. Other updates, so she'll hold up like little blaster panels, and you try to blast the panels.
Okay, they have that. They have that practice in over in Toy Story Land on Toy Story Mania.
Yeah,
you have little practice screens to kind of get you used to the feel of the. It helps. So that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Glad to hear that.
And then also too, in the circular room where you're like going into space, because it used to be that ride used to be if you had wings, right? I believe
Yes.
back in the day.
Yeah.
So that
I
I
was,
think in the circular room where you kind of saw Zerg's ship and you could try to shoot
Mhm.
at it, they will actually have targets that I think Zerg is dropping mines, and so you can
Oh, okay.
shoot the mines or shoot those targets in that room. Um, and then also Buzz will join the fight as well, and he also helps you fight Zerg in space.
Okay.
So
Okay. So a lot of interaction there, and this one I'm really excited about. I
yeah,
think they're gonna, improving the technology,
yeah,
and all of the people who knew exactly how to become galactic heroes will have to figure it out all over again.
yeah. Oh, no, it's going to be prime for new content for all the
Yeah,
Disney vloggers. How to
yeah.
get Galactic Hero on the updated Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin ride. I can already think of the opening day vlogs to come.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, they're gonna be covering all of that. So, yeah, it'll be fun. So we're looking forward to that. It's just a good one. And on to we're in Magic Kingdom, obviously, guys. We're starting with Magic Kingdom, and this is one, y'all, that is coming up. And if you've been to the parks recently, you know that Big Thunder. You can see all of the scaffolding. This picture was taken less than a year ago. This picture was taken about 9 months ago. I took this one, and I think I either took this from Tom Sawyer Island. I may have taken this from Tom Sawyer Island. It looks like that's the vantage point there, but it's Big Thunder Mountain Railway, of course. It reopens after this refurbishment. And of course, Disney never, they wait until the last minute to give us a specific date. But at this point, they're saying spring 2026. So we're getting pretty close to spring
Yep.
2026. I know that they laid the last tracks for it. They had kind of a little ceremony. So it's going to be you can decorum. You're gonna have to cover your ears, William. The whatever you call it, urban legend was always if you needed to pass a kidney stone, you could ride Big Thunder Mountain, and it would like jostle you to death. Uh, that we may have lost, Big Thunder Mountain, that option for Big Thunder Mountain, because they did lay new tracks. So it's probably going to be,
So, hopefully
and
it's not too smooth though, because
I know, right?
yeah, it's like
There has to be a certain amount of,
yeah,
yeah,
if it's smooth as butter, it's like, oh, well, this is quite the mine train,
right,
Um,
right.
so anyway, it kind of it adds to the experience.
It does. It really does. And I, as many roller coasters as we've ridden, Disney coasters, Universal coasters, and our Six Flags Over Texas, y'all, is a coaster mecca.
Yeah, it is.
Um, this one is still at near the top of my list for favorite coasters. I love this little coaster.
Yeah,
I love the theming behind it. There's a lot of lore behind Big Thunder Mountain, and they emphasize it more in Disneyland.
yeah,
Uh, but something that they used to have that they kind of got away from was in the queue line. And what was it, William? You could shoot targets
you could
to
you
uh,
could blow dynamite and try to get the people on the ride wet.
right.
You could try to
Oh,
pump it
hey,
up.
Tony.
Welcome in, Tony. You could try to pump it up to where you could try to get the water to shoot out right at the time the ride cars are coming by.
Yeah, yeah. So that was I love that. That
I
was
had a
kind
really
of
good time with that.
yeah. Yeah, you
People
did.
on the ride while I was in line probably didn't appreciate it as much.
Well, but kids must. I mean, that's just fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh my gosh, Tina, bless your heart. Don't ever want to do that again. Oh my
Oh
gracious.
no. Oh goodness.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, that's the urban legend. That's the lore. I've heard that before. Have you heard that before, Tina? I don't. Things, golly, crazy stuff. Right, comes up. Yeah. Tony O'Tower, welcome in. Our cousins, our Haunted Mansion cousins from Tower of Terror over there. Welcome in, Tony. Yeah, right. 101 Dalmatians drop tower. Okay. Well, I would think any kind of tower, Tony, any kind of theme tower, you'd probably ride it. Although I'll have to say, I will qualify that by saying I hope they do not touch our Hollywood Tower of Terror
Yeah.
because it needs to stay exactly the way it is. So moving right along, I don't want to jinx it, but so we'll see what they do with this, y'all. It should be a lot of fun when it's open. The other thing that's really good about both of these, William, Big Thunder Mountain reopening and also Buzz Lightyear reopening, is that both of these are heavy rides as far as
Right.
guests, and
Yep.
so
Traffic.
it's going to spread out the guests in
Yep.
Magic Kingdom to have these two rides open is going to help with crowds.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Tony, have you read Mission Breakout? Have you written Mission Breakout? And William and I have said before, um, oh, hey, Nicholas.
welcome in.
in. Yeah. Have you written Mission Breakout? William and I were very resistant to that in Disneyland, and we love it in Disneyland.
Yeah.
But it just won us over. It just won us over. It really did. Yeah. So these two things. So those are two things that are happening pretty quickly. On to the next. This is also, and this is some other. There in other news. Cinderella Castle, back at 50th anniversary, was repainted from that kind of bluish gray color. Now the turrets stayed the same color, but the castle walls themselves were kind of a bluish gray, and it was repainted. Now these are the old colors, William. Here's some throwbacks for you. Pictures
Yeah.
of Cinderella Castle, and let's see. This was the picture on the left was probably, well, the picture on the right was 07 because I can see the date on Adam's shirt.
Right.
And then the picture on the left was probably also 07, I'm thinking. But that lighter color that you see on the castle is what they changed, and they went to a rose gold for the 50th. Now, what did you think about that change, William? Did you?
I was fine with it. I think it's, sometimes it helps, mark which year it is, or which years it is. I do think it looks really pretty against against the sky in the background, kind of as bit of a visual offset, if you will, until it gets to kind of the evening hours, and then it kind of blends in nicely. But I mean, I was fine with it. I think it looks nice. I'm looking forward to it being changed back. Jillian said she kind of prefers the newer look.
The rose gold.
Yeah, but
Well, speaking of Jillian, here's the if you can tell the difference here, and this is the big 50th medallion there on the left in that picture. And then you can kind of, in the right picture with Jillian there in the foreground, you can actually make out that pink, that rose pink color. But these were both after the paint job. And the one on the left, of course, is with all the 50th bling that they added, which I loved, all the gold on the turrets and what have you, the bunting there around the castle walls. But
yeah, Jillian has a trivia question also. How many bricks are on Cinderella's castle? And, somebody's already answered it in the chat.
Let's see. Okay, who answered?
How many bricks are on Cinderella's castle? Tony answered it.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. Oh, I say there. Yeah.
Welcome in, Jason.
It's steel, plaster, fiberglass, and cement.
Yep. So Tony got it, and then Jillian gave
Disney Magic.
Fuller answer.
It looks like stones. You know, big castle stones. Absolutely. So 0. Let's see. Let me catch up in chat here. Yeah. Let's see. And Robert. Okay. The pinker the better. Okay, so all right, so yeah, let us know, guys. Do you like the old color or the new color, or does it? I like both personally. I really do. I would not have. The thing that I was glad about was that it's a subtle pink. It's a light pink, which sets it apart from Disneyland's castle, which is that bright pink and blue. So, and I don't think both castles have to be the same color. So I'm glad they went with like a subtle hue for the 50th, but I like both of them. Yeah. So these are, so anyway, that's coming up. And do we know, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can check my notes. If they have said, I don't know if they've said when that painting will be done.
Yeah.
I didn't find a date on it unless you saw something there, William. As far
I have it.
Yeah, as far as when that's going to happen. Moving along to Carousel of Progress. Now, this is an interesting one. Guys, Carousel of Progress is straight from Walt's brain. This is one that he conceived for the 1964 World's Fair in New York City, and it was originally set for that. Walt thought it would be fun to go, he loved the American family. He loved that, the history and the nostalgia. And so he thought it would be fun to follow a typical American family through the century. And so that's what Carousel of Progress does for us now. What they have in mind, as y'all know, they have a Walt animatronic in Disneyland already at Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And from what I've heard, it's luck of the draw as to whether you get Abe Lincoln or the Walt animatronic. Now,
yeah.
That animatronic has taken a good bit of criticism because everybody felt like they could have done way better with making it look like Walt.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen on the live streams, I think we've talked about that, William. They really could have done a better job. And I'm really kind of surprised that they didn't stay at the drawing board to plus it up some before they put it out there, because if you're gonna do a Walt animatronic, which in itself was controversial, you got to get it right. You have to. You can't mess that up. And so, what they're planning for Walt Disney World, and I I'm okay with this one.
Yeah.
They're going to do a Walt animatronic, and this is some concept art of him introducing the show. So I think that this could, if it's done well, it could really add a lot to Carousel of Progress, which I totally love, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that they don't, I hope that they update the animatronics, to make them more fluid, give them some TLC, for the other animatronics in the attraction. And I hope they leave the show, the dialogue and the rest of the show alone. And so anyway, but yeah, if they just add Walt and just, go through and do time, love, and care on the, the show aspect of the ride, then I'll be happy, I'll be tickled pink.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I as far as refurbishing the show, I hope they don't mess with it a whole lot. Just let's maybe grease some of your animatronics and make sure everything is in running order. And they have over the years updated that final scene.
Yeah.
They have that final scene. They have made it more contemporary, but I hope they don't mess with it too much because it's so classic. You can, that's the thing. Disney, the current Imagineers and apparently, Bob Iger and have seemed to have forgotten basic tenets of what Walt wanted for the park. He was all about tomorrow and staying with what's coming and technology. He loved that, but he also appreciated history, and he felt it was important to preserve that. So I hope they don't go too crazy with Carousel of Progress, because if they do, they're going to ruin a classic ride or a classic show. That is the longest running stage show in U.S. history, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and Jillian, you guys will be there the 9th through the 14th of March. And so Jillian said the castle, the opening, the opening castle show of Mickey's Friendship Fair isn't on the schedule for January 28th through March the 18th. So the project is going to take at least that they've given themselves that kind of window. Yeah. Of course, the schedule can be updated, but
right.
So we'll see. Tony, I've got a trip planned. Super. So that's coming, guys. That Walter, and it's exciting. If they do it right, that could be great. I mean, really. Yep. So
I agree.
I'm hoping they have Disneyland. They've learned some lessons from the Disneyland attempt, and they're kind of tweaking it. So, and I'm moving then, guys, across to
Hollywood Studios.
Disney's Hollywood Studios, and this one, I have a lot of mixed emotions. I think a lot of people have mixed emotions about this one. William, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah. So you've got
it's Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, Aerosmith. Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith is being starring Aerosmith is being rethemed to feature the Muppets instead. It's estimated to open with the new Muppet show. They closed the pre-show for the Aerosmith, for Rock and Roller Coaster. Probably, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago.
It closed on December 1st.
Okay. So
I was there
about a couple months ago.
It was the first day in the park. So it was December 2nd. It was the first day in the park. It's December 2nd.
And so the pre-show's been closed for a bit. And so, that it seems like the majority of the work they're going to be doing for this ride will be, cosmetic. It's going to be, obviously a completely new pre-show. They've confirmed that Scooter and the two penguins are going to be animatronics. I imagine we'll have, maybe we'll have some fun studio effects and stuff, since it's the Muppets. But it seems like we'll have to get oh dang, what's their name? I'm trying to remember the name of their is it Electric Mayhem?
Band?
Electric Mayhem.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Yeah, they'll have to get them to their concert. So I'm sure there'll be Muppet shenanigans. A lot of people are really hoping that they add Statler and Waldorf, making fun of you before you shoot, do that opening, shoot off the launch to ride the ride. So,
okay, Jillian, I'm not sure what you actually think about this. Be a little more specific there.
I've always thought, I thought it would be a top level troll, if you will, if they they featured the Muppets, Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem singing Aerosmith songs. Would be a top notch joke. If I hope at some point they actually do that, because it would be really funny.
It would be. Now that would be fun. That would be fun. Yeah. And we mentioned it. We mentioned it several weeks ago. Steven Tyler actually went to ride Rock and Roller Coaster once more before it, but it showed him, interacting with fans. He signed a ton of autographs and wanted to ride it, once before it closed. But I can't imagine Aerosmith not being okay with something like that. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
It would be so cute.
It would be really funny if at some point they do that. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be that hard to do. They run some different songs these days, because there for a while, it seemed like they hit kind of they jump between kind of their more iconic songs, and then they played like a B track, for Aerosmith, the songs that you're less familiar with, or at least I was less familiar with, and so it would be really funny if at some point they decided to play Aerosmith songs, but with
it really would. It really would. That would be amazing. I'll just have to say that would be a fantastic
maybe
tip.
Maybe wait like 5 years down the road, or 5 or 10 years down the road, and then they'll run some sort of special, 1 year only or 6 months, 6 months only run to pay tribute.
Yeah, to hear.
Welcome in, Joseph.
So cool. The thing that I have trouble with in this, and y'all absolutely love the Muppets. I'll tell you what I really missed. One of the things that I really miss is the Muppets in Liberty Square. Remember, they used to appear there in Liberty Square in the building and do a little skit. I love that. Sam Eagle. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. This I'm not terribly excited about, because that side of the park, you've got Tonio Tower, Tower of Terror, and then you've got Rock and Roller Coaster, and they are more of your adult rides, if you will. Rock and Roller Coaster or Aerosmith is fantastic. I don't think that I would. Can you think of any ride that has that cool an entrance with the car that follows and turns into the neck of the Les Paul guitar?
It is
so cool.
It is really cool.
And it looks fantastic at night. I mean, that was whoever came up with that idea. Wow. my hat is off to you, because it is, for years, and I'll confess something, as many times as I had been into, I guess I was just not paying attention. It took me several years of going to Disney to realize that that car was on the limo was on a track that turned into the neck of the guitar. So yeah,
it's super cool. Oh, I hope you have a great trip there, Joseph. Yeah, have a
absolutely.
blast. Yeah, have a blast, Joseph.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's my thing, and here's my 2 cents on us losing Muppet Courtyard and it being changed to Monsters Inc. I mean, the height requirement for this ride's like what, 48 inches? I think it's one.
Yes.
It's
one of the taller.
It's with Muppet Vision 3D. Anybody could do that, and so I hate it for the people that are big time Muppets fans. And it just Wyatt was introduced to the Muppets with Muppet Vision 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes the Muppets, and so in my mind they're doing themselves a disservice, because you'll have to wait till the kid's 48 inches tall for them to interact with the Muppets, and so I think. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're kind of limiting your touch points, potential touch points, because I mean, there are people, Disney Plus exists, and there's Muppet content on Disney Plus, and you've got Muppet Haunted Mansion and everything, but I think there are certain, and also too, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. A lot of people said, oh, Aerosmith's, outdated. They don't even tour anymore, yada, yada, yada. And that, I had heard Aerosmith songs obviously over time, but riding the ride, I was like, man, these guys are great. And there's no telling how many people over the years had this, younger people over the years had that same exact experience. Exactly. And then, like, oh, let me go hop on Spotify and
grab some Aerosmith.
And go, throw some Aerosmith in my playlist. So anyway, I think that they're doing themselves a disservice in that this attraction's not going to be accessible for some people. And if it were up to me, what I'd like to see them do is, once Villains Land is ready to go, I want them to pick up the Unfairly Ever After show and move that over to Villains Land in its own theater tailor made for that show. And I want them to bring back Muppet Vision 3D in that area and have a mini Muppet Courtyard.
There you go. Now there you go, William. If you're gonna take Aerosmith away from us, give us more Muppets, and then you have Muppet Vision 3D restored where the kids can enjoy that, in that section of the park. I think that's a fantastic, really fantastic idea. And I just, I can't listen to we've mentioned this every time an Aerosmith, song comes on the radio when they're in a car together. We think, ooh, I really think it feels like I should be riding a roller coaster right now, listening to Walk This Way or, whatever. And it just, I can't, wait and see, y'all, but I can't imagine, as much as I love the Muppets, I can't imagine Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem having that same effect. I mean, because Aerosmith is classic rock and roll. Y'all. I mean, you can jam out on Rock and Roller Coaster. And Rock and Roller Coaster really was one of the first coasters, if not the first coaster, to integrate the music while you ride. So, and to me, that's a game changer. That's a total game changer. Universal copied it with Rip It, Ride It, Rock It. And, several other parks have now added music. Look at Guardians. Guardians has, music to it. Contemporary pop, so or not, and older pop too, which is better than contemporary. But I can't imagine it being as exciting with, I don't know. I hate to. I'm not criticizing the Muppets, y'all, but you know, Steven Tyler is Steven Tyler is a lot more exciting than Dr. Teeth. Let's
Yeah.
just say it. Let's just say. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But
Really too. Really too. A lot of people had pushed for Powerline. I mean, really, you could fit with you traveling. You could easily, have turned that into a very abbreviated version of a Goofy movie,
yeah.
taking you across the country to the
Yeah.
concert.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it
Would have
fits.
fit.
It totally fits. Yeah.
A lot of people pushed for that, and there were a lot of people that really hated that idea also. But I think it would have been an easy plug and play.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But
So we'll see what they do with it. But um, again, I can't see myself getting as revved up for Dr. Teeth and the
yeah,
Electric Mayhem as for Aerosmith. Aerosmith is from my era. I'll give you that. So we'll see. We'll see. There are a lot of issues with turning an wonderful classic adult themed roller coaster into more of a children's, theme
yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of our thoughts on that. So we'll see what happens with it. I love your idea. Wait, I think that, has Disney thought about that?
Wait a minute. I love that idea.
Yeah. Right. If they do it, you're going to have to call them and ask them for royalties or something for using the idea. And here we are. Y'all heard it here on Hitchhiker Chat first.
Yeah.
And to the former Muppet Courtyard, they're putting in a whole land, y'all. Monsters Inc. land is going to be Monstropolis over at what used, the area that used to be, well, my brain went blank. Muppet
Courtyard.
Muppet Vision 3D, the Muppets
Yeah.
Courtyard,
Yeah.
Muppet Vision 3D there. So this guys, they're giving us summer 2026. No. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Monstropolis. Do we have a date for Monstropolis?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know that I've seen anything concrete. Yeah.
Yeah. Pun intended there. I don't think they've given us now. This, as you can see, the top picture there is the doors, which when William and I,
people are estimating 2027 or 2028 potentially.
2028. It's chop, fellas. But it may be that spring 2027. We'll see. Disney doesn't get in any hurry with projects anymore. Sometimes I really think that that Walt would have cracked the whip on them.
Yeah.
on some of this, chop, fellas, you could get this done faster. But this classic Doors ride, obviously, that lends itself to a ride. The Doors scene, and then you have the couple of these are all concept art pictures here of what this is going to look like. It should be really cool. Okay, Robert, thank you so much. We appreciate you popping in. Yeah.
Thanks. Have a good one.
So much. Appreciate it. But these are kind of what that may look like. The concept art versus what we get is usually maybe, sort of, kind of close. Maybe not, but we'll see. And there should be some good meet and greets over in this area. It will be completely refreshed. I don't have, I really, except for, losing Muppets Courtyard. And I really get to miss that Miss Piggy fountain in the middle.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that Muppet Vision 3D was Jim Henson's very last project before he passed.
Yeah.
I love Monsters Inc. I think this could be a really good area if they do it well. But William, they have got to stop giving us mediocre attractions.
Yeah.
Especially on top of attractions that were fantastic.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of what they have given us in the most recently has been mediocre.
Yeah.
The latest example of that is coming up when we talk about Better Together.
Yeah.
Which replaced It's Tough to Be a Bug in Tree of Life Theater and Animal Kingdom. We'll get to that. But I absolutely missed that Miss Piggy fountain was amazing. I wonder what happened to her. I now see they could move the Miss Piggy fountain over. They could retheme the Villains Theater and put the Miss Piggy fountain over there.
There you go.
Retheme Villains to absolutely, to Muppet Vision 3D and put that fountain. But I think people would love that personally. Yeah. I really do think they would. But anyway, that's huge, guys. That's gonna be just a brand new land. Again, I wonder why Disney keeps insisting on retheming areas instead of doing actual expansions. That's why Walt bought 247 square miles, of land, and they insist on tearing things down and turning them into something else when they should just give us an actual expansion instead of a
we saw with Toy Story Land, like we saw with Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, both of those were actual expansions. They can't do an actual expansion. Y'all have the space. You just do. We know you do. So,
it looks like based off of, back to Monstropolis, it looks like based off the concept artwork, I would assume we'll probably get Harryhausen's as a restaurant. And I hope, and I assume that would take the space of Mama Melrose. And so hopefully they'll give us,
should be good. Yeah, be good.
Something, hopefully they give us, another quick service location for where, Pizza Planet and then Pizza Rizzo. Yeah, hopefully we get another restaurant in that space. But I'm excited for it. Hopefully, I would really like to see them lean in with this land and, give us some interactive stuff. Add, if you've got the fake, kind of fake storefront shop windows and stuff, like, do some kind of motion detective stuff to make monsters pop up, kind of almost, Wizarding World of Harry Potter-esque.
Yes.
Right. Maybe you could do a certain pose or something, like practice your scary feet, and stand on this mat and practice scary feet, and then have something pop up in the window, or practice roar. It picks up the sound, and maybe the scream canister, goes up. Or I know that probably at this point they'll have converted to laughs, but anyway, I think that it's got a lot of potential, and I would love to see them lean in. Whether or not they get the budget for it is another story, but I think it would be a lot of fun, especially to help make the land feel a bit more, alive, if you will. Because really, that's with the Muppets and more Muppet Courtyard, them closing the Christmas shop, them closing what was it, Stage One, I think was the name of that gift shop. You know, they made that space feel less busy.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so over time, they kind of kept closing things to the point where it's like, okay, let me do Muppet Vision 3D, and I may or may not eat at Mama Melrose or Pizza
Right.
Rizzo.
Yeah, there was no draw to go into that.
There's no reason to linger.
And then Disney comes back and says, "Oh, well, this is an underused,
Uh-huh.
space in the park." So, well, when you close everything down in that space,
Right.
it's got same thing with Tom Sawyer Island, but
Yeah.
let's not open up that wound.
Right.
So we'll see what's coming. But come on, Disney, give us something. I think your idea about those the storefronts, the store facades there. I think your idea to do interactive stuff like they do in Wizarding World of Harry Potter is an excellent idea. I mean, I think that's a fantastic. The kids would love it.
Yeah.
Adults would enjoy it. There's if you really brainstorm that, there's so much that they could do.
And you could get, they have that effect. Dang, what's the name? Is it a Demigeist? The secret window at Epic, where you say Revelio, you do the Revelio spell, and you reveal it. It's sitting there, but it's a Pepper's Ghost effect. I think it's a Moongeist. But it's not on the smell. It's not on the spell map. I put spell and map together and came up with smell. But it's not on the map, but it's a really cool effect. Like, it's really neat. And so I think they could do something similar. I think it'd be really neat. Feature some of these really fun, some of these fun characters. Scott Scribbles is a lot of fun for Monsters U. Fritz for Monsters at Work cracks me up. Henry Winkler cracks me up big time. And then they could do the same Pepper's Ghost effect, but feature Randall in one of the windows and have him appear, because that's his whole shtick. I think they. Granted, if they were given the budget, I think it would be really fun to have interactive, like, storefront windows.
Well, and that would also be a new approach for Disney. That would be a new draw,
and it gets people to hang out in that area.
Yes, it pulls people around, pulls people into that, further into that area, because there really was no need anymore to go to that side of the park. To go further into that land, because there just wasn't, because there's nothing back there. There's really nothing back there. So I think that's I think that's that's true. Tina's bringing up the Phineas and Ferb adventure at the things that you can do there at Epcot. That's a good point, Tina. Some of that. Something along those lines. Would be. It's not exactly what they have. They're
but it's in the same vein.
Things, but it is definitely in the same vein. That's true, Tina. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you really feel like you've got to, if you feel like you got to get people on the pay to play thing, this would be perfect for the Magic Band Plus. As another thing you could do, because there's bounty hunting, there's there's other stuff. It would be another way to make use of selling folks Magic Band Pluses.
And if you make it more kid themed, then even better, because a lot of times parents will pay for something for their kids that they won't buy for themselves. So gotta pull those kids into it. We have Animation Courtyard, guys. They have they have pulled down the big archway, the big Hollywood Studios archway over in formerly Star Wars Launch Bay.
Yeah.
They're at Hollywood Studios, and but they have some good ideas. They have some good ideas for over in that area. The Magic of Disney Animation is going to be like an interactive walkthrough, which should be pretty cool. I haven't read a lot of details as to what they're going to do with that idea. And the Walt Disney. What about what have you read about their plans for this area as far as what's going to be back there? I know they're going to have more Disney Junior shows and characters in that area, but
So they're going to have a new Disney Junior show, which is already, I believe, is already premiered at Disneyland. So they're going to move that show over here. And I think you'll still have character meet and greets in this area. But the Magic of Disney Animation, they're going to have the animation experience over there, just like they had previously. They did have the animation experience there in this space. And I think it called the Magic of Disney Animation previously before the launch bay.
We love that. We used to love that.
And so, I think what's going to happen is when all the Bluey stuff goes to Animal Kingdom, they're going to close down the animation experience there, and they're going to pick it up and move it over to, or have a different iteration of it over here in this area. They're going to have meet and greets featuring each of the different levels of animation, kind of like background and color, and they've already confirmed that Rapunzel will be one of the meet and greets.
Love that.
So the backdrops will feature, as you meet and greet with these different characters, each of the backdrops will feature a different aspect of animation. So,
which I love. I love that. Disney, because Disney in recent years has gotten away from taking you kind of behind the scenes and explaining their techniques and what they do. It's just kind of, well, we want to, slap some IP on this ride and sell you merch. This harkens back to what was previously in the launch bay. And they generally had a Disney animator there, William. We have your graduation piece that the Disney animators did for you, that I bought for you, and you could walk up and just order it, and they would, it's Mickey, wishing you a happy graduation, and then I had it, I bought a frame for it. And so, that they're I hope that's the kind of thing that they're bringing back, because I really enjoy that. I love watching an actual animator draw, So, and this concept art shows
welcome in Spaceship Ears
Fantasia hat. So I hope we don't lose that. I like that. Kind of gives a shout out to the big hat that we lost in front of the Chinese theater. But
it's going to be, it's going to be inspired by the the short that they did not that long ago. It serves as part of the inspiration for this area. So I think it's going to be really neat.
Nice.
That the animators have left for the day and the characters are coming out to play.
Yeah, which I love that. I mean, if there's so many things that you could do with that. I hope this is going to be a fun educational. We go back to the edutainment.
Yeah.
One of Walt's words there. And I think this really has a lot of potential to be a good learning, edutainment.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mr. Juba, welcome in. Welcome. So, and this is one of the Disney Junior shows and characters. More of that's going to be over there, which will pull in the kids, and I think it's great. I love the I love the idea for this. This will reinvigorate this area of the park because it had, the Star Wars launch bay was over there. You could meet Star Wars characters, which I loved, but they had closed down a lot of the things that drew you over there. So I love that they're reviving this area of the park for sure. I think it's going to be really cool. This is picture is from the Disney Junior show that's currently running at Disneyland. So, yeah. Spaceship Ears, welcome in. And good to see you, Ms. Najuma. Good to see you. So, okay, next, let's hop over to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And one of our favorite areas of the park. Now, this is pretty big, y'all. This
Nope.
is going to be happening 1x2 is pretty big, and there's a lot to cover here.
Yeah.
Remember when Galaxy's Edge opened, they were obviously really pushing the later movies.
Yeah, the Disney sequel trilogy.
And that is, to say the least, not people's favorite era from Star Wars. It's really not. But they did it anyway. Disney has announced that the timeline is going to change. Now this is going to change. This change was announced for Disneyland, but the timeline will expand to include all of the eras of Star Wars. Until now, of course, it's been strictly set during the sequel trilogy. But the land's timeline will now be split in half, with one area representing the sequel trilogy, the other taking place in the later stages of the galactic civil war of the original trilogy. So that is music to my 1977 Rebel Scum ears.
Yeah.
It really is. So Disney has said in a press release, new storylines will be brought to life on Batuu, spanning multiple eras of the planet's rich history. These updates will enable you to experience the Galactic Civil War and New Republic, as well as the Age of the Resistance and the First Order. Whoa. Wow. I mean, I think this is, for Star Wars fans, this is huge.
Big fan.
I am too. I'm a totally, they had me at, 1977. They had me at Princess Leia.
Yeah.
But so this is exciting. The change will go into effect on April the 29th of this year. But it says guests can't expect to see visible work, and some props arrive before then. Notably, this timeline shift is only for the Disneyland version of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and it's not happening at Hollywood Studios. Okay, people, why? Why?
They always do stuff like this. I think sometimes it's Disneylanders. It's they claim it's more of a locals park, although I don't really know that you could say that anymore. Because there's so many dadgum locals, at Walt Disney World these days now too. So anyway, it's I feel like they roll out this really neat stuff. They did.
Welcome in.
They did Pixar Fest last year, the last couple of years around the summertime, and they have all these really cool characters. Ian and Barley, and Alberto and Luca from Luca, and so they have all these neat characters and stuff that they have out there for these these fest, these Pixar Fest, and so anyway. I'm hoping that it's such a hit that they just say, hey, you know what, we're going to copy and paste. Let's move this over to Florida.
Right. And that would be that kind of copy and paste would be fine, because Star Wars fans have been screaming at the top of their lungs about this since Galaxy's Edge opened. I
Yeah.
mean, have we not? So
I mean, and I've said myself, it would be fairly easy to retheme if they wanted to retheme. Yeah,
oh,
you'd
sure.
have to replace some ships and stuff to try to keep in with the timeline. But there's only really only geeks like me care about the timeline. So
Well, right.
your average
But
Joe
that's
that
what
just
it's all about. I
you're
mean,
right.
yeah, it's
Your average Joe's that has just seen the movies is not going to care that Darth Vader's walking next to a ship that's not from his era.
right, right. That's true. But in order to be true to the storyline,
Yeah,
they have to be true to the storyline. So
yeah,
that's part of keeping the storytelling
yeah,
real.
yeah,
So they're obligated, in my way of thinking, to
yeah.
do that. The
Hey, Jonathan.
Now, um, so Galaxy's Edge has always been set between Star Wars Episode 7, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, mostly designed and built after The Force Awakens. Those three. But the timeline of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland had been a little bit looser, because the Florida land, see, we had the Galactic Star Cruiser
Yeah,
at in Florida. So that's so they had that piece to to tie in.
R.I.P.
And of course now that was a huge disaster. The Galactic Star Cruiser was just a huge disaster, and we've talked about that ad
Yeah,
nauseum. The hotel that they had, which had potential to be fantastic and game changing,
yeah,
and they ruined it basically with budget cuts. But uh, you know, uh, uh, thank you, Bob Chapek.
yeah,
It's now closed, and the Galactic Star Cruiser is an office building, y'all.
yeah.
So Florida no longer has that constraint, if you wanted to call it, if you wanted to call it that. But as guests were told, they could live their own Star Wars adventure in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And there was um, the um, the music for that, and I love it's more of a soundscape. That's what they called it.
Yeah.
And it plays. Now I love it. I totally love it. When I enter, every time I go, I walk into Galaxy's Edge, and I'm entering that area of the park. I listen to the soundscape,
Yeah.
because it really is cool. A lot of times, if I'm live streaming, I call people's attention to that. But um, they are they're going to be changing it to give us some John Williams. So
Yeah.
that's going to be very exciting. I think some of the music from the original trilogy, and I mean, oh my gosh, it's John Williams. Let's back up just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, shoot. Think about. So we'll back up. I'll read a little bit of this and then have some dialogue here.
Okay, great.
The change will go into effect on April 29th, 2026, but guests and some guests. Sorry, there's a. It's a. I guess in something, I don't know what this is. Guests and some props will arrive before then. Notably, this timeline version of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is not happening at Disney Hollywood Studios at Disney World. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has always been set between Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, and Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. Because it was mostly designed and built after the release of Episode 7, the Force Awakens. However,
Right.
the timeline of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland has previously been a little looser than at Walt
Right.
Disney World. In that on our trip a couple years ago with Jillian's parents, I met Ahsoka for the first time.
Yes.
there
Yes.
there at Disneyland. So
Yes. Not jealous at all here.
yeah, and Boba's roamed around out there. Mando, which
Yes.
we see Mando at Mando or the Mandalorian and Grogu at
Right.
Disney World.
And I finally saw him in December. Finally
Yeah.
saw Mando and Grogu.
Yeah. But at Florida, it's always been stricter to match up with the Star Cruiser, although that's closed. And like you said, it's been turned into an office building.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, let's see here. Yeah, we'll hear we'll hear the main title by John Williams, and the Force theme will play as people enter into Galaxy's Edge through the various tunnels, which is very exciting. And then the main title Force theme, and then also which I love the soundscape. But we'll hear other iconic tracks like Han Solo and the Princess, the Desert and the Robot Auction, and the Emperor. They said that Disney Imagineers stated there will be brand new rearrangements that will play as well, referring to the music. So we've got a tweet.
John Williams, we're gonna hear actual Star Wars music in Galaxy's Edge.
Which I mean, technically, I mean, John Williams did make the soundscape music, so
he did.
But still, I mean, yeah, it's to get the direct movie themes is pretty sweet.
Yes.
So in a tweet from the Drew Disney dude, all characters appearing in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland Park beginning April 29th. Darth Vader and Imperial Stormtroopers will roam the outpost. How cool is that? It kind of reminds me of the the March of the First Order that used to happen there down the main drag at Hollywood Studios. Which was really cool. But I mean, shoot, yeah. I mean, can you imagine just Vader rolls out with a bunch of stormtroopers following behind him, and the Imperial March
playing?
Oh, yeah!
Wow! I've been backing up.
And don't do like Kylo and only have 2. Spend the extra money. Have about 10. I would say 10 is formidable. Anyway, Darth Vader and the Imperial Stormtroopers will roam the outpost, which is awesome. Leia Organa and Han Solo will reunite with Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca, which it's hard to believe we're going to get that at Disneyland and not get that, in cinema. But again, we won't reopen that wound either. Leia Organa may be spotted near the Millennium Falcon, which is awesome.
When we talk about Star Wars, we just kind of
Oh, Paula, go. Feel free to ask your question. Leia Organa may be spotted near the Millennium Falcon at Disneyland. Han Solo will also linger around the Millennium Falcon, which is very exciting. I've heard he'll also kind of hover in the Oga's area as well, which makes sense because it's a cantina. So
yes.
I do have to say, if they have Han floating around, wouldn't it be awesome to just see him stop in at Oga's for to grab a drink and hang out?
Right.
Here and there, or maybe even just be sitting there at a table and invite people to play sabacc. Yeah, I mean, that would just be the coolest. I mean, can you imagine a little kid just sitting there, just happened to be at Oga's at the same time as Han Solo and be like, guess what? I beat Han Solo in a game of sabacc.
Oh my gosh.
and now he owes me credits, so you can have that bragging rights for the rest of your life.
Well, yeah,
Um,
exactly. And talk about those, those Disney memories.
yeah,
Paula, do you think Keanu Reeves would play a great Darth Revan? I
Revan,
think
yeah,
Keanu, that's a big yes.
yeah,
That's a capital YES.
yeah.
Paula, I do. So the Abeloth might be coming to Ahsoka season 2. Okay, now I've not read that. Natalie Portman might be returning as Padme. I did read that.
Yeah,
Wow. Now that
yeah,
all of this is new.
yeah,
I've only read pieces of that, Paula. Had you heard any of that, William?
right. Yes, I have
Yes.
actually. I had seen some people, talking about Abeloth. Anyway, let's see. Back to it. Ahsoka Tano and the Mandalorian and Grogu will appear near the marketplace as they do kind of today already. R2D2 will continue to roll through the land, which why does Disneyland get nice things?
All
And
right.
Disney doesn't.
all the nice
Um,
things.
and Ray will appear around the Resistance camp, which makes sense. Um,
Well, I'll just have to say, I think that's a we may have to go to Disneyland.
right? I mean, I already wanted to go to Disneyland, and then they announced all
Uh-huh.
this. And it's like, well, shoot,
Right.
I guess I
Yeah.
gotta go. But
Okay. Swapping coasts. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
thank you, Paula. Thank you. She likes Mousy.
But that's
Um,
one thing that they've talked about, but they haven't really delivered on. Is they talked about having aliens, some of the like Rhodians or trash Dotians. I mean, granted, you've got the Doc Ondar animatronic, which is really neat. But you had mentioned Bob, Chapek. I know that he scaled back, some of the original plans, and there's some really neat concept
oh,
art out
yes.
there. There was concept art for a kids ride to ride a bantha, which I think would just be
Oh,
which, which I think
right.
would have just been fantastic, and
Oh, yeah.
a great kids ride option. But anyway, so I think it's amazing. Very excited for this. Hey,
Yeah,
Alex,
Jonathan
welcome in.
says, throw in some bounty hunters walking around.
Yeah, yeah,
There's so many things that they could do. See, the other thing that I would love to see them do that I think was originally in the plan. I would love to see them have drones flying above, shaped
yeah,
as Star Wars, like an X-wing, and
yeah.
I think that would be so cool. There's so many things that they can
That's
do
funny.
with
Yeah,
this area. Alex, it's great to see you. Yeah, yeah, it would be a donkey in a bantha costume, or is it like Dumbo? Jonathan needs you to elaborate on what you're looking at for the bantha ride.
yeah.
Spaceship, it's so great to see you. We're so glad you popped in. All fun and games, and she's stepping up Beth and Beth the Poodoo.
That's funny. That's
Okay,
funny.
Spaceship Ears wins the chat for tonight so far, y'all.
That's so
Um,
funny.
it's true, right? You have to have are you going to have, well, it goes back to Jonathan's question. You're looking, a donkey in a bantha costume, or is it like Dumbo? If you do it like Dumbo, if you don't want to have the bantha poodoo, so yeah. But yeah, so this is really exciting. Now, you guys, we're complete Star Wars nerds, so
Yeah,
this is great stuff. I
yeah,
have some pictures here that I wanted to share of John Williams and golly, um, the music of John Williams has just, especially during the Spielberg eras, guys, the music of John Williams has shaped our movie going experiences for
yeah,
decades. Truly, truly has. There's how the accolades all of the accolades that you could heap on this man are not enough
Yeah.
to, to thank him for all that he has done. Our movie going experiences would be totally different if it were not for his music.
Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter,
and Jaws,
yeah, et cetera, et cetera.
and on. Exactly. Yeah. Golly. There used to be pack mule rides. That's true. That's
right.
true.
Right.
True. So there was like mule poodoo before it was voodoo. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, golly. Just so this man, the music again, going back to what we were saying about Aerosmith and Rock and Roller Coaster, music is central. It's critical to movies.
Yeah.
And they brought that importance to Rock and Roller Coaster when they themed it to Aerosmith.
Yeah.
They totally did. Shout out to my brother-in-law who was a master welder and supervisor during the construction of Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm always obligated to shout out to Jerry for building us such a wonderful ride.
And the Tree of Life as well.
And the Tree of Life as well, and Rip It, Ride It, Rock It he also did that over at Universal. But
that is now turning into Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. Just for a quick
is that okay?
A quick Universal sidebar. A lot of people are disappointed because they were hoping it'd be Ghostbusters or Back to the Future.
Yeah. Now, what were they doing with it, William?
So Rip It, Ride It, Rock It over there at Universal. Rip It, Ride It, Rock It will be turning into Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift.
Oh, Fast and Furious! I'm not nearly as I would be much more excited about Ghostbusters or and Spaceship Ears. Be a lot more excited. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan, so I would be much more excited. Fast and Furious doesn't thrill me.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters does. So.
Uncle Jerry also worked on the Tree of Life also.
I did, yeah. And except when they first, for Tree of Life, when his crew first went in on it, they didn't know what it was going to be. They didn't realize that it was actually going to be the park icon, or that it was a tree. They did not know what the structure was. They had the main support for the Tree of Life is an oil platform, which makes all kinds of sense. And they worked on that, but it was a long time before Jerry and his crew actually knew what they were building. So, pretty cool. He tells a story, Jonathan, about being like really, really high up on one of the beams. Heights do not bother Jerry. And it's probably a good thing because he spent most of his career walking on on 6-inch beams that were hundreds of feet in the air. But he tells the story of being up there when there was a shuttle launch, and it literally shook the ground. It was he said that was pretty amazing to watch it from amazing. Oh, thank you. Aw, phone call. Okay, thank you so much. Hugs to you, and thanks for popping in. We appreciate you. At any rate, let's see. They should also use for mountain. Let's see. Yeah, Ghostbusters. Johnson's of Ghostbusters or Return Back to the Future. Yeah, I think either one of those, Jonathan, would have been really. We all love pop culture. We all love the throwbacks, right? I care now. Fast and Furious has how many like 20 movies or something crazy.
Yeah, it's
That
insane.
is not my shtick. You know, I feel like you would reach a lot more people with Ghostbusters or Back to the Future. I really do.
Although
Thanks.
Fast and Furious always crushes it at the box office, though.
They do.
They
They
always
do.
put up numbers. I'm telling you. I do
They
think it.
do.
You know, I know they do well in the States, but I think they do especially well overseas with the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I know they do, or they wouldn't keep making, they
Right?
wouldn't keep making a cajillion of them. But
Uh-huh.
for me, I love I'm more of a pop culture,
Yeah.
and I would love to see either a Ghostbusters or a Back to the Future something.
Yeah.
There, I think would be really cool. Okay, gosh, moving along, y'all.
Yeah.
I knew we would, okay, moving now, guys, over to Animal Kingdom. Opened 11/7/25, Zootopia themed show. It replaced It's Tough to Be a Bug at the Tree of Life Theater. That opened on November 7th. And so
Zootopia Better Together, name of the new attraction.
Better Together is the name of it. So and then let's see, I've got these kind of out of order. Y'all are going to have to bear with me. But this is the sign, attention mammals, the entrance is that way. I did, y'all, when I was there, you can see that the wait time in the lower left-hand corner is 10 minutes. Let's just say, I don't know how much of a commentary to give on this show. I would not wait for this show over 10 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. But I also wanted to, give a little plug here. This are some pictures that I took because I'm going to be doing. Well, I was there. Back up a little bit. Well, I was there in December. I took a trip in December, first couple of weeks of the month.
Yeah.
And this is a picture that I took inside the theater. This is an actual picture of the Screen Together Day, is what they're celebrating, if you will, in the new show. I had decided I'd always wanted to go to AMC Theater down in Disney Springs to see a movie at Disney Springs. Well, obviously, it was my best opportunity because Zootopia 2 was playing down there. So I did that. I made it's a dinner theater. I made my reservation there a couple of days ahead. Went in. I think my movie was at like 10 o'clock. It was my first experience with the whole recliner thing and the food tray, and they bring your order to your seat and all of this. I was thinking the whole time, if Jeff came to watch any movie in this recliner seat, he would never make it through the first 5 minutes because he'd fall asleep. But it was fantastic. I loved seeing it. I loved Zootopia 2. I really, really enjoyed. I did not fall asleep. I did not fall asleep. So after the movie, I did like a movie review, which I'm gonna post. I thought, okay, why don't I just run on over to Animal Kingdom, because I was a pass holder at the time, and go see Better Together, because I had not seen it yet at that point. And I'll do a video, so y'all watch for that on Saturday. I'm going to try to put that one together and post that on Saturday. So I not only do a review of the movie for Zootopia, I also reviewed Better Together in the same, that'll be in the same video. It was tons of fun. I really loved it. It was again, Disney Springs was not busy at all either. It was like there were like 3 or 4 people milling around in that area over by the movie theater there in Disney Springs. So it was really cool. But so this is my first experience. At the time, they I was going to video the
Hey,
show.
Jerry.
And one of the cast members, oh, Hatbox Ghost, nice of you to materialize tonight. We appreciate you being in here, Jerry. The cast member asked me not to. I guess at that point it was so new that they still cared. That later on they probably will not care. You know, whether or not you.
I have a very abbreviated rant here for this because
go ahead, rant away.
There are larger channels. You know, we're not a big channel.
No.
And there are larger channels that are given free reign to do whatever they well please because the videos get posted. You know, there are videos of this attraction out there on the internet. You know, and whether or not whether they were just really good at hiding it or I don't know, but anyway. It's a bit of a ripper. It bothers me because case in point, you had followed me around during the Mario key thing.
Yes.
So I collected the 3 keys there at Epic Universe at Super Nintendo World to go do the Bowser Jr. challenge. There's a guy I follow on Facebook. He's got a ton of followers. He's on YouTube as well. But anyway, I follow him on Facebook, and that they wouldn't let you film directly. Me participating in the Bowser Jr. challenge.
Yeah, the final challenge.
Yeah, the final challenge. But and granted, maybe it's a difference in policy from because he whenever he did it out in Hollywood. And when I did it, it was at Epic there in Florida.
Right.
So maybe the policy is different between the two coasts, which again doesn't make sense to me. But I almost wonder. It's like, oh well, this guy has a million followers. We'll let him film for content and put it out there, and jam up a smaller channel like us who would benefit much more from.
Yeah.
And also too, I mean, granted, my thing has always been, we do the channel for us ultimately. We're glad other people, and we're thrilled to have made many wonderful connections in the community. But at the end of the day, it really serves as like a family scrapbook essentially. A time capsule, of video documented memories of our time in the parks. Enjoying things. So anyway, it's it's a ripper, that these bigger channels get to record, and whereas us, the little guy doesn't get to.
Yeah, and Tina, I agree.
And I'm always super cognizant of my surroundings. I don't want to be the guy that people are complaining about in the Facebook groups.
Exactly.
There are people who are completely unaware of their surroundings. They're talking way too loud. They're they're boisterous. I'm not that guy. I'm trying to be as incognito as humanly possible. Anytime I'm capturing content.
Anybody else's, to not ruin anybody else's
exactly
experience. We are conformist. And that's, I wasn't live streaming that day. I was just trying to film it. I was for a vlog, and the cast member actually came up to me during the show and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Please don't film."
Yeah.
So, so I stopped.
Yeah.
But then the other day when Jennifer Caruso was there live streaming, she had not seen Better Together. She had not celebrated Together Day yet. And so she was going to go and, and live stream it. And I put in the chat, that they wouldn't let me film it while I was there. Well, she went around and just asked. It's always best to ask. That's always the thing.
Always. I mean, you want to be respectful. Yeah.
exactly. And she asked, and I said, "Sure, go ahead."
Yeah.
So, so
Yeah, it's like Tina said, it's a fair
yeah,
chance it may just be down to the cast member.
true,
They're just
true.
a call. So
He is. He only materializes, when it's absolutely necessary.
yeah.
There, Jerry. But yeah, we absolutely, guys, when we are in the parks, we try very hard to be aware of our surroundings,
Yeah.
to not be obnoxious with, I most of the time will sit in the back,
Yeah.
if I'm filming a show or if I'm at, like Carousel of Progress or something like this, so as not to disturb other people and ruin other guests' experience.
Right.
Same thing with everything that we do, parades,
Yeah.
what have you, and absolutely follow cast members' instructions.
Yeah.
That's us. That's just how it's just what we do. Um, but anyway, yeah, so I don't know. I think Tina, that a good many times it comes down to the cast member.
Yeah.
I really do. Because we've had that experience before, not just in dealing with live streaming or videoing, but
Yeah.
other issues as well. So,
One thing
anyway,
that one thing that amused me about whenever we went and watched this show was that the theater was less than half full. and,
ah,
and
so we're
this
out.
was week of Christmas, you know, and so
Okay.
I was like, wow, like this really did not move the needle uh, as much as they probably hoped it would.
Well, there's so many things, there's so many things that I can say about it, and mostly, well, just let me just hit the bullet points here. Let me hit about 3 bullet
Yeah,
points. My impressions of this, especially when compared to what used to be there, which was It's Tough to Be a Bug.
yeah,
Um, it's Tough to Be a Bug was put in at the height of the interactive show's popularity.
oh yeah,
So Disney really took it to the next level with It's Tough to Be a Bug. And they have the water spraying in your face. They've got giant spiders coming down from the ceiling. We've got bubbles.
R.I.P.
We've got acid being spit at us. We've got that huge, amazingly impressive Hopper animatronic.
One of
One
the
of the
best,
best in the
yeah,
park.
and most underrated, underappreciated animatronics we may have ever had.
Absolutely, absolutely. Made such an impression when he came out. Such cute dialogue. The story flowed. It made sense. You had bug eyes, y'all. Even your 3D glasses were bug eyes, which I have, by
Yeah,
the way. A couple of years ago when I went, I just asked a cast member if I could keep a pair. She said, "Sure, go ahead."
yeah.
So I have a pair of bug ears. Um,
Oh,
but
welcome in, Mr. Fulton
yeah.
Moraz. Happy
Oh,
birthday to you.
okay, Mr. Fulton Moraz. Oh my goodness, happy birthday.
Thanks for dropping in on us on your birthday.
Birthday.
Hope you had a
Thank you so
wonderful day.
much. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday. Um, okay. For all of the things that I can say that I loved about It's Tough to Be a Bug. Good storyline, perfect place the Tree of
Yeah,
Life Theater underneath, Um, you had all of the elements, including the big dung ball out in the foyer. I mean, you had it was just fantastic. The gigantic spiders. I mean, my Kylie, my granddaughter, absolutely loved this show.
yeah,
She really did. First time she went to see it, she was 8. And she part of the fun, of course, is sitting towards the back so that you can watch all the newbies who have never seen it freak out over all
uh-huh.
of the great effects and what have you. That was part of my enjoyment of the show. I loved It's Tough to Be a Bug. It was tons of fun. It was always a treat. all of the things that it was, Better Together has been shoehorned into that theater. They do not use all of the effects. You had animatronic Flick coming out of the top of the ceiling upside down to introduce the show and talk to you as honorary bugs.
Yeah.
The show was well themed, the whole 9 yards. They don't use any of that.
Yeah.
There are no spiders coming down from the ceiling. They've eliminated almost pretty much everything that made that show work, that made it so delightful. The Hopper animatronic has been placed with Clawhauser. And Clawhauser is at a desk, so you only see half of him, which is cheating. I realize that he sits at a desk, in the movie.
Yeah.
But the Hopper animatronic was full body.
Yeah, which is awesome.
But my main problem is, I think they're trying to get across a message, and Dean said the same thing the other day. I think they're trying to put together a story that never comes together.
Yeah.
It's very disjointed. There's a lot going on. They spend a whole lot of time to say not much, basically. Yeah. What did you think?
It's very disjointed. Jillian does not care for it. Wyatt liked it fine, but if you think about it critically even a little bit, you could blow holes in in the show. It's like, okay, all right, we're here via drone, but we're experiencing the effects of what's happening in these terrains that we're visiting.
Right. But we're supposed to be watching it.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be watching it remotely. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. It'd be one thing if they said that in advance, like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a special technology, so you'll be able to. It'll feel like you're there. If they'd have thrown in a couple lines of dialogue there, they could have made that work. But anyway, it's and the other thing too is, Animal Kingdom, Circle of Life. All the animals are not coming together and living in harmony, because that's not how it works in reality. And so you do
have actual predators and prey, y'all.
Yeah, you do, and they really do eat each other. But yeah, it's it just if you think about it too much, you can just really blow holes in this show.
Oh yeah.
And some of the effects feels like they just threw it in to throw it in. It doesn't really feel like it makes sense. So it's very busy.
They've totally done away with 98% of the special effects in the theater. So
yeah, they still do some stuff, but Clawhauser is not there for the whole show, and granted, Hopper wasn't there for the whole show either. But I just, this was not an improvement. No. And it's funny because
step down.
Yeah, you can go and it's a fresher, newer IP. For me, being a '90s kid, it bums me out because there was a Bugs Land over at Disney California Adventure, which has now been replaced with Avengers Campus, which has also been heavily scrutinized. And now they've replaced. It's tough to be a bug here, so the Bugs Life presence is gone. entirely.
Yeah.
Minus, there's, Ant-Man carries around a little diorama of A Bug's Land and says, it's not really gone, it just got shrunk. um,
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's a funny bit that they do at Avengers Campus. But
Yeah.
anyway, this show is just it's very busy. It feels just kind of thrown together. Definitely,
They
absolutely,
spend a whole lot of time doing nothing.
right, exactly. So the other thing that kind of amuses me is, one of the signs before you get into the theater has, a picture of a rodent with and it's Joe Rodent, because he's got the little ear thing. He's a little construction rat on one of the signs as you come in, you know, from the queue. And this breaks one of his rules that he had written, and
it does.
supposedly he had signed, given this attraction his blessing. If you ask me, it was probably a yes man thing.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like are you are you signing my check for this month?
Right.
Then let's move on. You can go ahead and open your new attraction. And that's the thing. It's funny to me that the line to meet Nick and Judy outside of the Tree of Life, the line to meet those characters is longer than the actual attraction itself. I stood there and waited in a line for probably a good 30 to 40 minutes with Wyatt and Wesley to meet Nick and Judy. Whereas, the ride was pretty much was a walk on. We just had to wait for the show before our show to end.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's again, it's huh. Disney keeps Disney keeps pulling out really good stuff and replacing it with so-so stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're a new Disney fan,
looking at you, Tiana's Bayou Adventure versus Splash Mountain, specifically.
Looking at you. And just for the future, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go way out on a limb here.
And also Country Bear musical jamboree versus Country Bear Jamboree as well. I'll go ahead and throw you all under the bus too.
Throw that in there. And I'm gonna go into Tomorrowland and say Cars Land versus Tom Sawyer Island and the Liberty Bell. I'll go that far. And I feel like I'm really on pretty safe ground to do that.
Yeah.
At any rate, so I'm gonna do the video is a lot of fun, y'all. So I'm gonna put together that video and it'll be out on Saturday. But it was fun to go down to Disney Springs and see Zootopia 2, which I had never seen, never done, completely new experience. Yeah. And then just get in my car and drive over to Animal Kingdom and see this new show, which I had also never seen. So that was just a good combination, and I really enjoyed it. So I watch for that on Saturday, and we may have spent way too much time on that, but here's just a promo. As I was right, this is a promo sign. You can see the Skyliner in the background there as I was on the tram. Promo for Zootopia 2 here. Next up, and we're almost done, y'all. We've got let's see, where are we?
Tropical Americas.
Tropical Americas.
Animal Kingdom.
Tropical Americas at Animal Kingdom, y'all, is going to go in, and this is replacing Dino Land USA. It's in that that section. Dinosaur, the ride will be rethemed to an Indiana Jones adventure.
Yep.
And that is set to open in 2027. So that's a little bit further on down the road. But Dinosaur at Disney's Animal Kingdom will permanently close on February the 2nd. So we're really close to February 1st, which will be its last day, final day of operation. And this is, all part of the same transformation of Dinoland USA into this new Tropical Americas area. It will be, there is a diorama of it over in, if you want to look, you're going to be there and you want to look at the, well, it was big on building scale models. There's a scale model of Tropical Americas, a pretty detailed one, over in kind of at the back of inside the One Man's Dream little museum there behind Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It'll feature the Madrigal House. I think this should be a really pretty area, don't you think, William? I mean, how could it not be beautiful?
Yeah.
It should be a really pretty area. It's going to be interesting. Don't unsubscribe and throw rocks, but I never really got on the Encanto train.
Yeah, Jillian really enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. Hey, welcome in, Kevin Theme Park Adventure.
I really thought it was a cute movie. It was a beautiful movie. It was very pretty. I thought the characters were fun, but I was never just bowled over by Encanto the way some people were. I know that Jillian really enjoyed it.
Lots of people just latched on to, we don't talk about Bruno because it was all over social media there for a bit.
Yes. And we don't talk about Bruno, it harkens back to the conversation that we've been having about music and how important music is to whatever, whether it be a ride or a movie or a parade. I'm looking at you, Disney Starlight.
Yeah.
Music is extremely important. And, talk about Bruno, was just because it was such a catchy, a catchy song. So this is going to be a beautiful area of the park. It's very interesting to see what they do with it. And
it's funny. It's funny because Wyatt was watching a video. I think it was I can't remember which channel he was watching. But anyway, he was watching a channel earlier, and they covered before they put this in, or before they decided to go official with this, they had Blue Sky in place to have Moana featured in this area, and also Zootopia as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hey, Jason. But yeah, it's so Wyatt asked me, he's like, are they doing that? I said, no, that they changed their mind. They're doing, Encanto, and they're doing Indiana Jones, and doing the Tropical Americas section, instead. So, anyway, yeah, it's interesting. I am excited to get a completely new attraction. Hopefully they make a really awesome dark ride, and the casita, getting to go, visit Antonio's room and get to see some cool animals and stuff. So hopefully they do a really awesome attraction for the Encanto ride. Then obviously, I'm excited. I'll miss Dinosaur. But I am excited to get an Indiana Jones attraction here.
Yeah, I'm too.
I hopefully they do, and it's supposed to be a completely new adventure, not a carbon copy of what they have over at Disneyland. Which
right, that's what they've said.
Which that one is one of my favorite rides, bar none.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In the world, so. I'm a big fan of the attraction over there. So hopefully, granted, it's the same ride vehicle, same track. So hopefully they can make it feel, the surroundings feel, substantially different.
Right. Exactly. I hope since they're not doing a carbon copy that they come up with something at least as good as what they have at Disneyland, kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but okay. Um, so I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, with letting dinosaur go in favor because I love the Indiana Jones. I'm like you. I
Yeah.
love the Indiana Jones ride so much at Disneyland. It really is good. And for those people who, um, um, have not ridden the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, you can trust us on that. It's
Yeah.
it's it's very
It's
good.
fantastic.
Yeah. So same, same
When I found
same
out the
ride track and
dinosaur,
everything.
when I found out the dinosaur and Indiana Jones had the same track, I was highly disappointed. Uh, in dinosaur.
Right.
Uh, which, granted that there's nostalgia value to dinosaur, and dinosaur was a good ride, but when you
Yes,
when
true.
you compare it to Indiana Jones at Disneyland, it's like, oh my goodness, like
Yeah. Yeah.
they are not the same.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
One of one of these things is not like the other.
Uh-huh.
For sure. Yeah. It's so we'll see what they do with it.
I
But
mean,
I'm okay.
that ride just feels so big. Um,
Yes, it does.
I mean, it feels epic as you move through the ride. It feels epic.
Yeah. It really does. And the storytelling
Yeah,
there is so much more exciting, maybe because it's Indiana Jones, you
yeah,
know. And of course we're huge Indiana Jones slash Harrison Ford fans.
yeah,
Um, um, so yeah, and um, I mean, obviously the the difference in theming, the difference in theming is quite a it's just so apparent there
yeah.
between Indiana Jones and
Now,
and dinosaur.
one thing I will say, I mourn especially. I didn't, personally, I did not spend a ton of time in the boneyard. I think Adam did. Spent,
Adam did,
spent
yes.
more time than I did in the boneyard, and then also my nieces as well. But I didn't spend a ton of time in there. But the restaurants, uh, that they had in that
Mhm.
area were, peak Imagineering in that, it was supposed to feel like, there were college students like, working on an
Mhm.
archaeological dig. And so a
Mhm.
lot of the decor, there's lots of nods
Yeah.
to that, that type of, living situation and stuff,
Mhm.
the airstream that you could eat inside that was connected
Yeah.
to the building.
Yeah.
There were just a
Really
lot
cool.
of really neat touches that were
Oh yeah.
unique to Dino Land.
That's
Um, and so, I hate that we'll lose that, that
yeah.
fresh, creativity,
Mhm.
non IP,
No,
which, yeah,
not
you
yeah.
know, I mean, they made the dinosaur movie, but let's be real, most people probably forgot that movie exists. Um, or may not even realize it ever came out at this point.
That's true.
Um,
That's true.
so anyway, it's yeah,
Mhm.
I will miss dinosaur, but I am excited for what's to come.
Yeah. Now here is these pictures were taken about 4 years apart here of Kylie, my
Mm,
granddaughter, my eldest granddaughter, and she really loved the boneyard. That play area was next level,
yeah,
because it was, I mean, it was huge. If you could go way up, way up high with all the scaffolding and the different. So she really enjoyed that. She was 8 years old in that picture on the left, and the picture on the right was taken last year. So, or uh, you know, um, so and Adam, I have pictures of Adam in the boneyard. Adam really enjoyed the boneyard.
yeah,
The other piece to this is I feel like in their rush to monetize everything, they are doing away with areas for children to relax a little bit and catch
Yeah.
their breath and
Yeah.
just play.
Yeah.
And it's so important for kids to be able to get through a day,
Yeah.
without having a complete meltdown, and mom and
Yeah.
dad too.
Yeah.
So that bothers me. That was
Yeah.
one really big thing that bothered me about losing Tom Sawyer Island. Is they gradually took away, pieces of the island, like Aunt Polly's had not been open since before COVID.
Yeah.
And they took away reasons for people to go out there, and they said,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, nobody's going out here. We've got to do away with it." In other
Uh-huh.
words, they create a problem and you use the problem as an excuse to get rid of it. So,
Right.
and that was a play. Tom Sawyer
Welcome in,
Island
April.
was a Garden of Eden in the park, y'all. It really was. So, hey, April. And so, Jonathan said, "Miss the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground."
Yeah.
Younger, with oversized plants and grass. I 100%. Those areas, Jonathan, are important for children. That they just are. And
There's so much going on around it. So many sounds and sights and everything.
Yes.
That it's easy for kids to get overstimulated.
Yes.
And that's when you end up with the freak outs and
Exactly.
tantrums and stuff. And so, it's even that there's that area that's stroller parking now, but there used to be a little play area there close to Splash Mountain also.
Yes.
And
Yes.
granted, it was not anything, wasn't anything fancy, even in the the least, but it was a little area for kids to play in, while maybe parents are doing rider swap, and again, there wasn't much to it at all. It had a couple of itty bitty little slides and just like little areas to walk through, but that's pretty much all there was to it. But I mean,
but it
the
was
boys,
used.
yeah, the kids enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was used. And it's like you said, you could sit there and do rider swap while, one parent went and wrote something and the other sat there with the kids.
Yep.
And that in itself is worth a lot.
Right.
As far as Tom Sawyer Island, people have told me that, that they would, these work from home people would even take their laptops out there and find one of those great, picnic tables in a secluded area and work from over there. But just that, that area to go and play, there were animals on the island.
Yeah.
The caves were fantastic.
Yeah.
And again, if your kid doesn't know who Mark Twain is, then he needs to.
Yeah, it's a teachable moment.
A very teachable moment. It was April's beautiful. It was an ecosystem.
Yeah.
It had been there for 53 years. It was its own ecosystem, and just beautiful. Well, we are too, April. That's going to be a wound that's probably not going to heal for me, just to be honest with you. I think I thought surely they would come to their senses and cut that idea, but they didn't. So, which is a large reason I haven't renewed my annual pass. But anyway, this is what's going on in Animal Kingdom. Y'all, just a couple more, and then we'll be done with this. Level 99 is coming to Disney Springs. Now, this sounds interesting.
One other thing is that Bluey and Bingo are going to be at the conservation station in summer 2026, and they're going to feature some Australian animals. Some animals that are specific to Australia.
I did skip over.
Jillian theorizes. Granted, I've not read up on that as much as she had, but she thinks that it's going to be a pretty decent overhaul related to Bluey out there. So she's frustrated about it. Granted, we're not big on Bluey in our household. The boys like it fine, but me and Jillian are not huge fans. Granted, there are people that are big time fans. Jeff, It Is Our Dream, is a big fan. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, so it's I know that's gonna a bunch of people are gonna be riding that train just to go out there and meet Bluey and Bingo. And I'm sure we probably
Yeah.
will. I'm sure the boys will want to do it too at some point. But
Mhm.
anyway, it's I'll be very interested to see how much of that area out there gets overhauled.
Color Jonathan shocked.
Yeah, sorry, Jonathan.
Well, and I, I think they're probably, at well, what station is it over there? Let's take to the animators experience in Animal Kingdom.
The
What's it called?
conservation station.
Conservation station. The word conservation was not coming to my brain.
Yeah.
That is, I used to, we do that just to go to the animators experience.
Yeah.
We go out there and just enjoy that train ride
Yeah.
and everything.
Right, April. Yeah, we're big on the petting zoo as well. We spent some time out there on our past trip.
Yeah. Well, and then you have the edutainment aspect of Conservation Station, which goes back to exactly April Rafiki's Planet Watch and Joe Rohde's original idea that he wants Animal Kingdom to be about real animals.
Yeah.
Leave all the IP in the other parks and let Animal Kingdom be about real animals and conservation and all the things that go with that, and not cartoon animals.
Yeah.
So again, they're trashing. They're getting away from something that I feel is worth preserving.
Yeah,
I really do.
And Jillian, Jillian's in the same boat as well. She said that she's really come to appreciate Animal Kingdom more than she did previously. Since she's become an annual pass holder, especially been able to spend more time there. She's really grown to love and appreciate it for what it is. And she's irritated that it seems like it's tough to be a bug being replaced by Better Together. And then this Bluey coming and taking over the conservation station. She's very upset about it.
Yeah. It's just, well, again, replacing really good, teachable moments with IP and trying to sell you something, trying to sell you merch. It's frustrating. But so that's so $11.99, guys, over in Disney Springs.
Real quick before that, we have a point here for Epcot. Soaring Across America will arrive by Memorial Day.
It's just out of sequence.
Oh, okay, I got you. I didn't see a slide number for it.
It's out of sequence down there somewhere. It's coming up.
Okay.
But yeah, Soaring Across America for just in time for our 250th birthday is coming Memorial Day of 2026. I'm excited about that. I've seen Soaring Across, obviously seen I've seen Soaring over California. At Disneyland. Y'all have seen that too. Soaring over California.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun and something to really enjoy. Jonathan says, I don't mind Bluey being a host guide to guide you around the animals and such, but as long as you don't put animals from Bluey episodes only. Right. Gotcha. Yeah. I think Bluey is cute. I mean, but I guess I don't understand the craze.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
There's people big into it, big time into it.
Oh, well, Jeff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Keep my goats right, April. Yeah. It's, I mean, that's the thing is, it's an opportunity, I mean, granted, not everybody grows up, like me, and we had cows and, horses and, chickens at one point, and then we had rabbits at one point, and,
Yes.
cats and dogs and goats. Lots of
Yeah.
folks didn't grow up like that. And so,
Yeah.
and we don't, we currently, all we have are, a dog and 2 cats. And so, at some point I'd like to get, goats, but,
Mhm. I
but
think the boys
anyway,
would love to have
the boys
goats.
love petting zoos. They love the
Yeah.
goats. They love the
And
pig that
goats
they
would be
had.
perfect to have
Yeah.
again,
And then,
goats would be
the sheep also, they love petting all the
perfect.
animals there at the affection
Yeah.
section at Conservation Section.
Right, April?
That would be a game changer if we somehow got to pet a kangaroo. But that would definitely change my opinion. There's a lot of people don't like these, but there's a drive-through kind of wilderness safari that's there
Yeah.
outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I got to pet a zebra on the nose, and that just
Wow.
absolutely made my day. You're not supposed to touch the
Wow.
animals technically, but when it comes all the way up to your door and wants to eat some food, I'm absolutely giving some food to a zebra and shooting my shot and petting that zebra.
That's amazing to get to pet a
Oh, it's awesome! I was so excited.
Yeah. Well, one of the highlights of my life was when Dad and I got to swim with the dolphins in Cancun.
Yeah.
I never, but we got to literally swim with them. I mean,
Yeah.
I grabbed onto his,
That's so cool.
onto his flippers, and he pulled me back into the,
Yeah.
into the little place where it was utterly and completely amazing to have a dolphin pull you around this gigantic, tank. It was
That's awesome.
crazy amazing. So I was just blown away. I could talk about that for that experience, y'all, was something else. So
Yeah.
and my husband was just amazed too, and he got to do it twice.
Yeah.
Jeff actually got to do it twice, and I can't remember why, but everybody else was jealous. We're on the little platform, and he got to do it again. But yeah, the dolphins, they told you how to do it. Like the dolphin came by and positioned itself so that dolphins are so smart.
Yeah.
And positioned his fins where you could grab on, and they just wow. I mean, they're just to be in the water with them is just a life-changing experience. I'll just have to say. And I thought we just got to interact with them and maybe pet them and what have you.
Yeah.
But to swim out into deep water, we had life jackets on, swim out into deep water, and then have the dolphin come by and you grab on, and it just pulls you as well. Crazy experience. I absolutely loved it. Right. Okay, April, how, oh my goodness. They're just,
I have fed a giraffe also. But
yes, now I've fed a giraffe.
But they wouldn't let us pet the giraffe, but I really wanted to.
Yeah. Now I've ridden an elephant.
That's cool.
I've ridden an elephant before. That at Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey Circus. Ginormous elephant. Pretty cool experience. As a child, I was probably about 10 or so. I've ridden an elephant twice, though. I've done that twice because there was a circus also that came to our little hometown, and they gave elephant rides. So fun, amazing, fun stuff, y'all. Excuse me. Okay, back to level 29 is going to be, now this is a new thing here. We hope this flies better than some of the other things that they put in down at Disney Springs. It's an interactive social entertainment experience. More specifically, it's a destination for real-world challenge-based social entertainment, unquote, for adults, and it features physical and mental challenges set in an artistic environment, and it'll open sometime in 2026. So this has potential, I think, to be popular.
Sounds like the same vein as like a almost like an escape room type thing.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. So it'll be interesting to see what direction I go with this, and but that's coming. That's coming pretty soon. That's it. There's going to be at Disney Springs, so that's another Disney Springs option there, and then the last thing that I'm really excited about, and I thought I may still have a Soarin' promo here for Soarin' Across America, but is the tea room. And I love tea. I love a traditional English afternoon tea, cream tea, you name it. I love it. The Garden View Lounge at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort has been closed since COVID. So since the blip, it's been shut down. They have not been hosting the tea, but Disney has revealed that it will finally be reopening. The Garden View Lounge is set to reopen sometime in early 2026 and will offer a new tea experience with whimsical Disney touches. And I might make a special trip, y'all, to have tea at the Grand Floridian. And I'm sure that I could twist Jillian's arm into doing that with me.
Oh, no doubt.
I love this. I would love to take my granddaughters to do this. I have hosted, teas for my garden club before, and just for guests, and I just love it. There is something wonderful about sitting down with an amazing, selection of tea flavors and cucumber sandwiches, and the savories and the sweets, and just enjoying a bit of a gracious living. So this is something I'm really excited about this one. So that's coming back for all of you who enjoy doing that. It's something that I never got to. It does. Are you talking about the tea, April?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that, and we'll see. We'll see when that opens. I'll be sure to keep an eye out and let y'all know the minute that I see that opening back up. It should be pretty soon, I would think. Jonathan, I had afternoon tea on my last cruise. It was fattening every afternoon. Oh my gosh. We always do afternoon tea if it's offered on cruises, Jonathan. And it's just fun. I'll tell you, hosting a tea was the first one that I did was for my garden club ladies. And I did, it was like an afternoon tea. It was the savories, the scones, and the sweets. And it was so much fun just to make up the menu and then, create all the little sandwiches. And then I had different flavors of tea for each course. And I did a little history on my teapots, and made it kind of special for the ladies. It's just, yes, Jonathan. Yeah. Cruises, a lot of times afternoon tea is free. It's just something that you attend, and it's just so enjoyable. Everything's delicious, right? So that's coming up. The tea, you can have afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian again sometime in early 2026. And here's that Soarin' slide across America that I just kind of got out of order. But so that's coming back for we're going to have an amazing 2026, y'all, in large part because of our country's 250th birthday, and having been a youngster for the bicentennial celebration in 1976, this is really special for me. Yeah. Dessert was better than in many restaurants, right, Jonathan? Exactly. Yeah. Pretty cool. It's just they have so many. They have so many traditional. You can really get into the history of all that. I would love to do I would love to they have European trips that you can do that are centered around the tea rooms of Europe and the history of tea. I think it would be really, really cool to be able to do that. But yeah, this is a really neat promo poster there for Soren. Just very, very pretty and very appropriate. I love the design of that. There's so many elements that they've incorporated. You can see the flag there is, puts you in mind of the shape of our country, and then the sunrise there with the Statue of Liberty in the foreground. It's really, really cool. And then, of course, the Soren logo at the bottom. Really, really impactful and appropriate promo there. So lots of things coming up. William, what's your favorite on the list, do you think?
Well, I'm very excited about the stuff happening at Galaxy's Edge. I guess I'm a big fan of Monsters Inc. I guess maybe Monsters Inc. Yeah, I guess because it's all going to be new. Yeah, they haven't done it anywhere else.
That's true.
So it
doesn't exist at the overseas parks.
Yeah, so they do have Mike and Sully. Well, I think like Mike and Sully Do the Rescue, but I think that's going to close, or if it's not already closed, it's going to be closed soon because they're building, which makes no sense, but they're building an Avatar section at Disney California Adventure.
Right.
So it doesn't really make any sense, but oh well. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. If they hopefully they have James Cameron and Joe Rohde on retainer to give guidance.
Right.
But anyway, they had a pretty decent amount of space to work with at Animal Kingdom. And I don't, it doesn't seem like they have the same luxury there at Disney California Adventure.
Right.
So we shall see what they come up with to fit the space.
Well, and I would be happier if they were putting that same energy into improving and adding to Avengers Campus.
Yeah, which I mean they are supposed to make that King Thanos ride. Or I guess I can't remember what they are working on that, and the guy that worked on that.
So that's not Blue Sky.
No, they're working on it. It's supposed to be over towards the that's a show building that they've been using, but the one that the helicarrier sits on top of. Anyway, I think that's supposed to be part of the queue for the ride. And maybe partial show building. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah, that's and apparently, or I think the guy that worked on the original Spider-Man ride at Islands of Adventure, which is a classic. It still it still holds up as one of the best dark rides in the world, even though it's probably 30 years old now.
I agree. I could not agree more.
But supposedly one of the guys that worked on that back in the day is also advising on this Avengers ride. Okay. So there's I would imagine it's going to be a mixture of screens and practical effects. So hopefully they do an awesome job with it. Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, and you have his input, there's hope. There's reason for hope there. So yeah, we'll see. I really, really wish that they would give Avengers Campus some TLC. I have not seen it.
Yeah.
But from what you have told me and what I have, heard, comments that I've heard from other friends that we have who are Disneylanders, everybody kind of says the same thing, that they really needed to punch that area up and give it, because it's worth it. That film, that franchise is worth the effort.
Oh, it is absolutely.
Yeah.
It's and
I
that's
was
the
just
thing.
watching.
Like Doctor Strange's Sanctum, like that. I think they stopped doing that show, and I want to say they stopped doing the Dora Milaje, Black Panther show also. And so I think that they've taken a lot of wind out of the sails in that area. So hopefully they'll get this new ride in and start to bring some of those shows back
Right.
to help pull people in that area.
Well, you think about the comparison between now, granted, they're still making Avatar movies, but you have what are we up to? 3 Avatar movies now with this
Yes.
Avatar Fire and Ash, which hopefully I'll get to go see tomorrow. And how many Marvel movies did we have?
Yeah, there's a ton. There's a ton.
Over
Still putting them out. We get Avengers Doomsday in December, which I would imagine they're probably hoping it's going to pull people back in. People that have let off the gas since Endgame. I'm sure they've got their fingers crossed.
Named, by the way.
Yeah, right. I think that their hope is that they'll be able to pull everybody back into the franchise with Doomsday.
Well, I think that's what they're hoping as well. One other thing that I did want to mention that I don't have a slide for, but I did notice on social media is that Walt Disney World has filed for a second general construction permit having to do with the Haunted Mansion. Now, there are no specifics. Again, it's just for general construction, but this is the second one. And anytime you mention construction and the Haunted Mansion in the same breath, I get nervous. Especially the second one. I'm real now. You're giving me hope, William. You're saying, "Calm down, Mom," pulling me down off the ceiling, literally, because I'm afraid they're going to take out. I'm afraid they're going to replace the hanging man scene in the stretching room.
And Constance.
But you don't think so?
I don't think so. The other thing too is I think we've gone a decent amount of time since they've done work on the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland with their extended queue, and also with they swapped out Constance for the Bleeding Heart Bride or the Beating Heart Bride. So I've heard more rumblings that they might be doing some more work on the queue, which granted, they did all that work to give us the interactive queue, but that part of the line is hardly ever open, and
really?
the line for, the Haunted Mansion, is pretty long. They have it wrapped around out toward Liberty Square. Y'all have a good night, everybody.
Sure, honey. Y'all, Charlie, you sleep well. All of you sleep well.
Have a good night.
Alex and Lily and Susie, y'all have a great night. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate y'all. So Jonathan is kind of speculating there too about what they might do with the MCU. The obvious problem is you've created these characters, these amazing characters with incredible casting and incredible storylines that have been a part of our lives for 2 decades.
Uh-huh.
And that basically comes to, all good things have to come to an end.
Yeah.
And then they try to extend it with other characters that are just not as memorable.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing is that, who cared about Ant-Man before the Ant-Man movie outside of hardcore comics?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
And but it was so well done. And Paul Rudd was, was so perfect in the role that they turned that into something.
Right.
They haven't they tried a couple of things there with what's her name? little something America character that was in.
America Chavez.
Yeah,
Or are you talking about Miss Marvel?
Chavez. Both.
Yeah.
Actually, that did not. That they just don't. I mean, they're not, obviously not an Iron Man or a Captain America.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are. Plus, I felt like America Chavez was not cast very well, but
yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I think that you bring back Chris Evans, Captain America, bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man / Doctor Doom, and some of the other originals. I think it's gonna light the fire for some folks again. Now they're gonna have to do a good job of follow up after the fact, because I don't think Fantastic Four did as well as they were hoping. And then also, Spider-Man No Way Home did really well.
Yeah.
But
I think people really enjoy Tom Holland in that role too.
There was just a big time, I think the Multiverse of Madness was a good movie, but they the fact that they didn't have the guy who wrote that movie watch WandaVision and give him the conclusion of WandaVision before kicking off.
Yeah.
Before kicking off that movie just was they put all this effort into trying to encourage continuity and build, and there was just a complete disconnect between those two.
There was.
That show and that movie. So
100%.
anyway, that's I could talk about that all night. So but yeah, I'm hoping that Doomsday helps. It's probably going to introduce the X-Men. And they've already kind of teased that there's an end credit scene at the end of the Marvels movie, which I've not watched that movie, but I've seen the end credit scene. That kind of introduces the Beast, and so it's they've been trying to figure it out with okay, Spider-Man is Sony. The X-Men and other characters were Fox, and now
East and West of the Mississippi.
And so anyway, there's lots of stuff to figure out from a movie and movie ownership, franchise ownership, and also navigating the contracts with the theme parks as well. So yeah, you got the quote here from Walt Disney.
Yeah, this is a quote that he that his comment that he made about Walt Disney World, about the Florida project.
Yeah.
There's enough land here to hold all the ideas and plans we can possibly imagine. So Disney execs need to print this and hang it on their wall and stop tearing down stuff to theme it into things that are not nearly as good as what they just tore down.
Yeah.
But Jonathan says they're huge. Okay, which episode? What are you talking about, Jonathan? Which episode? You had me at Star Trek. He says, but there wasn't there a huge 2-part Star Trek TNG episode called that, and it still lasted. And so
maybe in game. I don't know.
In game
or Doomsday. I don't know. You'll have to help us out, Jonathan. Let's see. Do you want to open Lorcana or?
It's up to you. I have a pack here. If you want to do that.
We could do that. Just as a reminder, Festival of the Arts kicked off a few days ago. It'll run January 16th through February 23rd. Speaking of Lorcana, there's some cool, really neat experiences that you can do that I think they give you a pack to open, I want to say, and you have to trade with other people to, complete the challenge. There's a couple different promo cards I think you can earn by.
I wish we were there for that.
Right. I may have to drop in. Because I've never been to Festival of the Arts, so I may have to figure out a way to drop in before it's over.
Yeah. At
But a
least
lot of
maybe for
people
a
had a great
weekend
time.
or something.
A lot of people had a great time with this already. The Lorcana related stuff at Festival of the Arts.
Oh, they have. I've seen a lot of posts. I've seen a lot of posts on
Yeah,
it, and the neat cards that you can get that are just a part of that. So,
yeah. So I'll open up a pack of
yeah,
Fabled. Maybe Alex and Charlie and family will be able to do team replay to see what I
yeah.
get here. But hey, I wish I'd known they were still in the chat because I definitely would have skipped ahead to open Lorcana.
Oh, yeah.
But there was Atlantica, the concert hall.
Well, William, if you weren't so long winded, we probably could have.
Yeah, yeah, and it's free. Jonathan says. We got PJ Pete, which I love.
Yeah.
Caught up
Oh,
in the
I do
music
too.
from a Goofy movie. We have Megara pulling the strings.
Mhm.
Hercules. Next up is Ariel.
Oh,
Determined
classic
Mermaid.
scene there.
Mm-hmm. And we
Classic
have
pose.
TikTok Croc. Peter Pan, Ever Present Pursuer.
Tick tock, tick tock.
And a coconut basket from Moana.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What drops? Next up is the Queen of Hearts, Wonderland Empress. Then we have 4 dozen eggs, Gaston, Beauty and the Beast. This is uncommon. Next uncommon is Hercules,
I
Beloved
like the
Hero.
4 dozen eggs one.
Yeah, me too. First rare slot card is Cusco,
Oh,
Temperamental
fun.
Emperor, Emperor's New Groove. Next, we have a super rare Shinzi, Lion King Hyena Pack Leader.
Ooh,
It's a neat super rare. And then
that is.
finally, we
Wow.
have a common Elsa
Ooh,
Gloves Off, which is really pretty. We're riding the,
that
I
is
think it's the
beautiful.
Water Nook, I think, character, Water Spirit from Frozen
Ah,
2. It's a pretty card. And then here's
beautiful.
the puzzle piece, which I believe is, Powerline and Goofy and
That's
Max.
that super rare there.
Yeah. All
Yeah, it's
right.
beautiful and full. Jonathan really
See what Mom gets.
beautiful and full there. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and I have this Arcasia's Island from booster box with Bolt. So let's go through here and see what we got. Yeah, that was absolutely gorgeous in foil from the water knot. And Elsa, so pretty. And that super rare William was what?
Shinzi.
Yeah, neat card. Okay, so the first one we have here, Freckles,
Cute.
101 Dalmatians, then the Cheshire Cat, pretty one in the emerald, and then another Bolt.
Nice.
That's a cute one. In the amber. Then we have the Queen of Hearts. Villainous there. And another common here. We have Bucky.
It's fun.
That is a cute one. And the Amethyst. And then another common, our last common slot, we have TikTok. Got a theme
Nice.
going there, William.
Nice.
A little theme going there with TikTok.
Uh-huh.
He's funny. So funny. Okay, and our first uncommon, the Phantom Blast.
Phantom Blot.
What did I blot? Sorry, guys. I need new contact lenses. Jeff asked me today if I made an appointment to get new contact lenses, and I said no. So obviously he's right. I need new contact lenses. Okay. Oh, fun. We have an uncommon Cusco in a dual ink.
Nice.
That's fun, from Emperor's New Groove in the purple and emerald. I like those dual inks, but I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of skeptical about having whole decks of those inks. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
And then an uncommon Marie here. Oh my gosh, I love Marie.
Hmm.
You're not a lady. You're just a sister.
Hmm. It's going good, Tony.
And then we have Chernobog.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's neat.
We love Chernobog. Ever since, Chernobog was introduced so well, or represented so well in Spectral Magic. That Chernobog float was just, the Chernobog float was as impressive as, and as much as I love the Maleficent Dragon float in Festival of Fantasy, Chernobog in Spectral Magic was crazy good, y'all.
Yeah.
And then we have Pete.
Nice. Super rare.
And that is a super rare.
That's cool. I like that card a lot.
I do too. Yeah, that's an unusual card, actually. That's neat. And then in the last slot is a common. So I think you won again this week. You're catching up.
Yeah, I think we tied.
Wake up, Alice.
I think we tied because we got you got a rare, a super rare, and then a foil common. So I think we may have tied.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that pretty foil.
Neat.
Very pretty. Yeah. Your foil water knock with Elsa was just gorgeous, though.
Yeah.
And then the puzzle card. This is my puzzle piece.
Oh, neat.
So
it's cool.
Okay. Buzzers. No, yes, is the other way.
Nice.
So, okay. So there we go. Yeah. So I think we did, John. That's unusual.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. A long stream tonight. Lots to discuss. Lots of neat stuff coming up from the parks. Mom's going to be posting a new video on Saturday for the Zootopia 2 movie review, and also a review of the Zootopia Better Together ride show at Animal Kingdom. Also, too, if you're looking to plan a Disney trip or Disney cruise, reach out to Jillian. My wife, her contact information's in the description. New deals and announcements have been released pretty recently. There's some pretty neat things, deals with kids eat free and things of that nature. So, if you're interested in booking a trip, reach out to Jillian. She'd be glad to help you out. Her services are complimentary because if you they make those costs into the cost of booking, so her services are complimentary. And next week we'll have a recap of our trips with photos, favorites, and tips for visiting Walt Disney World. And again, thanks everybody for being here. Big shout out to our channel members. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for the extra support every month. It means a lot to us. Thank you for that. Thanks to everybody being in the chat, those that are ghost watching or those that are watching on the replay. We really appreciate you. Big shout out to our team replay. Again, if you're watching on the replay, make sure to leave us a comment. Let us know you watched. We really appreciate you. If you if you're interested in there's a website called theliveplace.com. It's basically a TV guide listing for family-friendly live streams. Check that out if you haven't already. Big shout out to Dean, who maintains that website. Check out Dean's YouTube channels, The Live Place and Dreamers Empire, if you haven't already. Also, if you're a YouTube creator looking to grow your channel, check out TubeBuddy. It's a great tool, helps track viewing trends, suggested keywords for titles and tags, gives you lots of information to help you grow your channel. The basic version's free. We have a link in the description below. If you decide to use it, it'll give us both a free month. So it's win-win.
Yeah.
Also, too, if you're looking for good quality, low cost promotional items, buttons, magnets, stickers, pins, etc. If you're looking for any of that type of thing, check out Stickermule. Use our link in the description. We'll both get a $10 credit for a future order. So, again, thanks everybody for being here. We go live every Tuesday night, 9:00 p.m. Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Again, thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. It's a bit of a longer stream than we've done in a while, but I appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. If you're just here with us for a little bit, or if you're here with us for over 3 hours,
Yeah.
like we are now, we really appreciate you. Again, go live every Tuesday night, 9:00 p.m. Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Be sure to join us live or watching the replay. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notifications when we go live or post a new video, like Mom will be posting on Saturday. If you want to reach out to us directly, you can send us a direct message on Instagram at the Hitchhiking Bones, or email us at thehitchhikingbones@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and X. So if you want to reach out to us, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be glad to hear from you. Anything else you wanted to mention, Mom?
I can't think of anything. Again, if you're here for a little while, or
Yeah.
on the replay,
Oh.
or you've been here for the whole 3 hours, we really
Forgot to do
appreciate you.
roll call. So let me run through roll call real quick. Thanks to everybody for being here again. Make sure to leave a comment. I know sometimes we're busy and stuff. It's there's plenty of streams that I watch and I don't comment on, or I'll just drop in and say hi real quick. I know it's tough sometimes. You feel like you have to come back on and say hello to everybody individually. I get that, but feel free to just jump in and say hi. Let us know you're here. But thanks, Aunt Joy and Aunt Susan, Mandy Adams, BDF, Tina McNeil, Jeff Nash. Jeff said first time checking us out. Big shout out to Jeff. Thanks for being here. Robert Sprite, Nicole Roddenhisler, Tonio Tower, Nicholas Troiano, Jillian Bone, Jason Thibodeau, Dave Stragan, Joseph Dion, Spaceship Ears, Najuma Brown, Jonathan Chung, Paula 1966. Hopefully I got the right number there. And then Alex Kennett and family, Charlie, Lily, Mrs. Alex, Hatbox Ghost, Mr. Fulton Mraz, Kevin Theme Park Adventure, April Etheridge, and Mandy Adams again. So thanks everybody, for being here. We really appreciate the support. Lots of stuff going on at Walt Disney World. Lots of things. They got multiple irons in the fire. Lots of construction. Some things being updated. So we'll see how it all shakes out, but definitely some stuff to look forward to. We didn't even mention the Villains Land, in our notes, but granted, most of the stuff we mentioned is coming up sooner than that. But anyway, just tons of stuff coming to Walt Disney World. And there's a fair chance we missed something, whether it's Disneyland or Disney World. Plenty of new entertainment offerings coming to us soon.
Yeah, lots of plans, lots going on. It's really just hard to cover all of it. We didn't even mention Villains Land, and that is we mentioned it. I think that would be good to to put the current Villains show from Hollywood Studios. I'll move that over to Villains Land, but just lots to talk about. Always a lot of opinions about these new things and whether they're looking forward to it and how they're doing it. And, Disney has opinions galore, and,
yeah.
no shortage of,
Right.
commentary on all that they do, ours included. So, but again, we appreciate you being here and hope that you have, have a great week, y'all. Do something. We're supposed to get some cold kind here in Texas, so we're kind of stocking up on the milk and the bread and the eggs, and kind of bracing. I think most of the country is kind of bracing for this weekend when may get some ice or snow. Be safe, stay warm, make sure you got another log to throw on the fire if you need it, and take care and have a good week. Do something good, go make something good happen. Call somebody that you haven't called in a while. Call, a dear friend or a relative that you haven't talked with in a while, and catch up and connect. Because that's really what matters. And again, thanks again. Congratulations to Dean. On that 1K. That is bravo. Well done, Dean. Such a milestone. So look forward to more good content from Dean, and we'll see what the year holds. We're to January 20th already, guys, and this year is just going to go like crazy. It just is. So, make your plans for Disney. Now, whether it's a cruise or, whichever coast or even overseas, and, plan to take in some of the magic this year. But we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks everybody for being here.
And, and hope that you have, again, a fantastic week.
Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Hopefully see you real soon.
At the Hitchhiking Bones YouTube channel, there is always room for one more. So please hurry back. Thanks so much.
Everybody. Thanks, y'all.
Host. We appreciate y'all so much. Bye-bye.